give me your loyalty, 'cause I'm taking the world, you'll see. They'll be calling me, they'll be calling me royalty. Best to give me your loyalty, 'cause I'm taking the world, you'll see. They'll be calling me, they'll be calling me royalty. Broke all the cages, no, I won't sit and take it. No, no. They left me for dead, I guess I'll never learn. Every time I break, there's just more pain to burn. They'll never, never, never learn. Till the battle's won, till kingdom come. I'll never run. Best to give me your loyalty, 'cause I'm taking the world, you'll see. They'll be calling me, they'll be calling me royalty. Best to give me your loyalty, 'cause I'm taking the world, you'll see. They'll be calling me, they'll be calling me royalty. A place where you can run free. Time does not exist. Take a chance when the world before us falls under our face. I can't hold on, I can't remain so strong. We have the same old bond, but everything's wrong. My love is gone, but I've been born. I can't make it on my own. The truth is a damn hard pill to swallow. I'm reaching out, but all I feel is hollow. I wanna make you work, but all I do is make you worse. The truth is a damn hard pill to swallow. Don't you wanna come on over? Don't you wanna work it out? Don't you wanna love me better, love me better, love me now? Don't you wanna fix our problems? Baby, I can show you how. Don't you wanna love me better, love me better, love me now? Don't you wanna come on over? Don't you wanna work it out? Don't you wanna love me better, love me better, love me now? Don't you wanna fix our problems? Baby, I can show you how. Don't you wanna love me better, love me better, love me now? Don't you wanna love me better, love me better, love me now? Don't you wanna come on over? Don't you wanna work it out? Don't you wanna love me better, love me better, love me now? Don't you wanna fix our problems? Baby, I can show you how. Don't you wanna love me better, love me better, love me We've lost track of time, don't know how to feel, but I'm not sorry. I'm lost in your eyes, are you even real? But don't you worry, I'm not looking for the one. No, I just wanna have some fun. So let's get drunk tonight, 'cause fuck how we feel. But for now, I won't give it all away, 'cause I don't think I'll stay. No, I can't be the only one who doesn't wanna fall in love. Doesn't wanna fall in love. Doesn't wanna fall in love. Doesn't wanna feel. Doesn't wanna fall in love. May not see eye to eye, but we can be chill for just this moment. So turn out the lights and let's make a deal to just enjoy it. I'm not thinking about forever. I won't care if we don't end up together. Let's get high tonight, 'cause fuck how we feel, yeah. But for now, I won't give it all away, 'cause I don't think I'll stay. No, I can't be the only one who doesn't wanna fall in love. Doesn't wanna fall in love. Doesn't wanna fall in love.
Lurking through mid is Faven. Doesn't want to stick around, doesn't want to get hung out to dry. Carrigan's now got the info that they're up short. Rain's been tagged. Brokey, good for one on the long side, and Carrigan's even coming in to help, but Brokey doesn't need help. He's won both those fights. Twists, locks down the mid component, and it all starts to come undone. They do a lot of damage to Rain. They've got this split taking place over towards A, and Brokey uproots the entire game plan by removing the whole long component of that split, forcing Big's hand to drop down into middle, and that's where FaZe were triple set up to deal with that attempt at the rotation.
Yeah.
That was really nice. They didn't just perfectly counter the A split, but they even countered the kind of contingency plan for Big, the idea that they could have regrouped with FaZe and turned that into a late mid to B play.
Pretty desperate, though, at the same time. I feel like when you're up against FaZe on a map like this, wherever you're going, you're running into horrendous firepower. You're running into a serious star. You know, Maui would say Rain's not a star player, of course, but every now and then, Harry, you get those games and you're reminded of what Rain can bring to the table. I hope we have him on form today. But even if we don't, that firepower trio, Brokey, Twist, Rops, these guys are cracked. And, you know, we saw it in the pistol. Brokey pops 2, Rops with a double, and Twist kills a player in middle, so it was no challenge for FaZe. Bit of a techie as FaZe drop a player, but they're already back in and we're getting resumed now to go for this full eco. Big aren't going to buy, it seems, unless it's a last-second change, but that's fine. Get your guns out ASAP. Get Searson on that AW. Favin's gone for a deagle. Searson's got a scout, and Big don't want to wait.
Yeah, don't underestimate the Searson scout as well.
Yeah.
It can do damage. He's going to get thrown up into the boost, but he does miss these players crossing. He had a pretty bad spawn, so wishful thinking that he was going to get the info there.
For Searson, it's not info. For Searson, it's wallbang headshots. That's the aim of the game. And I like how tucked FaZe are playing. They're tight in this round. They are giving away nothing, knowing either it's full Glocks and we don't need to chase, or it's a force buy and Big are playing as they often do and giving Searson the room to go for openers. Even if it's not Searson, German Yeags, Harry, German Deegs, famed weaponry by Big and many players from their country. Definitely something to fear. That's a cat smoke thrown from down under. And Big are going to try and cross in, but they get re-smoked by FaZe, so I've got to call that off for a little bit more time. Still 2 smokes available. Options are there for Big. They can play with their food. Twist may be getting interested. Molly's mid, playing committed in the open, but not for long. Eventually, it's going to be down to Big to make that call, and they want to split B. Leaving one guy lower with utility, and everyone else going back up tons.
Yeah, so tabseN might look to throw out this util into mid, hoping to peel that second B player away, right? But it... Okay, tabseN with the deagle. There's another man in mid who will fill that void. Quick rotation out of Brokey, and Rops just nailing them on the attempt to take the tunnels. Good for a triple, and Brokey's there to late trade it. Him and Rops get 5 between them. Lovely bit of interplay there on Brokey's rotation, right? He was trying to fill that gap in mid, and even though they lose Twists kind of floating around that area, Brokey was there to trade and keep it under control. He was also able to play into that actual B execute as well. So great timings out of FaZe already. You know, not falling kind of prey to Big's force buy. Never really got too worrying, did it? And I will say, no, Dust 2's always been a bit of a safe one for Big, right? Normally, if you face them here, you're in for a bad time. Carrigan with kind of teams of the past. Maus is a good example. He tried to make this a priority very, very quickly. Tried to work it into the pool. It's a map that seemingly he likes. And it's one that FaZe is super well versed on as a result. So I don't think this is going to be as clear-cut for Big as some of their other Dust 2 games have been.
I think Big will struggle to 2-0 this series if they are going to win it. I think it's got to be on Nuke, and even then, if someone was going to 2-0, safe to say it's the #1 team in the world right now. But we will wait and see what these gun rounds look like for Big. Searson's got the AWP, and he can take the spawn mid as well. Someone boosting him up. But there's only one cross, and I love that for FaZe. Still using the smoke in mid. Some players just don't want to, quote-unquote, waste the smoke there. And, of course, it is a heavy investment. You only get 5 of them, but it's still worth it when you know Searson's going to be doing this every single T round, going for this info or going for this pick down middle. And so... yeah, no one going to be taking that risk for FaZe. Very nice to see that in the first gun round, to be honest. Just going to keep Searson cool, not let him warm into the game early. He's waiting on Cat, and Much as how FaZe played this second round, they're giving away nothing. Doubled up on B with a layered peek. Rain down in CT on the boost, waiting for a mid to be. Cat is the contingency. This can be taken. And Brokey, how much attention does he want to commit to long? He throws a smoke as they fake him out, and he goes back to the cross, covering big into this A-bomb site. Brokey in this position, 7-0, as opposed to Searson's 0-3, so he's already ready to go with his AWP.
Yeah, Util starts to rain over. I wonder if Tabson wants to drop. It looks like it. Going to try and fall into CT, but Twists catches him. That was all the way from B. That was all the way from B. He has Rain's back. That's kind of insane.
Molly.
And now Rain goes up, goes over, and is Molotov'd out. So they've at least traded this back into a 3-on-3. However, to get into the B site, you got to get past Rops. Oh, turning on a dime is Searson plucking Carrigan out of the round, and that might change the nature of this. 20 seconds left into Brokey. Neither site is comfortable, right? Two phenomenal anchor players, and Brokey's going to swap out to the Deagle. Oh, he's playing for timings. They've got no idea that he is hidden in the site, but the Deagle's whiffed, and Searson able to deal with him. Now it's all left on to Rops. This nade, oh, it could have been a good nade, but Searson has tucked himself in at the back of Goose, and so Rops is never given a chance.
Is he giving it up? He's going to re-aggro late, but legs are seen from this position. He gets spotted, does dish out some damage, but I think at this point the clock has ticked. Even if he gets up catwalk, there should be no time for this round. So he reroutes long. Rops is playing for exits right now. He's trying to kill these players on the save. Tizian's holding it. He's considering. And Sisson has to run, right? He's very low back at Goose, so they're playing right into Rops' hand right now. This is good for damage, knowing you can't win the round, but still finding impact. Knives out, easy peasy, no AWP for you. And that's still going to be big with the round, but as far as the lost round goes, it doesn't get better than that for FaZe. Nice rotate out as well for Big, not liking their chances out middle into Rops when they don't have a smoke, and Brokey is still A, right? They never knew about the AWP, but if Brokey's A and you go out in the mid to B, he's going to pick you from car. You're still going to die. You're facing both players there. I don't know how Twist got that kill in CT. I have no idea. Very aware.
Kind of remarkable.
I was looking at the kill feed waiting for Rain to die, and it just never happened. But yeah, awkward for Brokey, right? Just tucked in, hoping he can hit that one first headshot. If he gets it, it's his round, but not today. The AWP will have to be held on to for later. Rops did save it over the AK. But very good shooting for Searson, who's yet to be given anything. He had to muscle his kills back in this round.
Yeah, obviously, you know, with Rops kind of dealing with everyone despite not winning the round, that does throw the question up of, you know, are we just going to see like Searson donning a scout here, right? Because he won't have the money. And I know that sounds kind of wild, but that's very, very par for the course with this guy.
Yeah, unless someone dropped, like Tizian has 4,900, so if Tizian dropped and didn't buy armor. Big have done that. Big are a team that will do that.
Oh, they really prioritize keeping the AWP in play.
I don't know about this early in the game if you feel the need to do that. Searson Scout is still viable. We'll see what they do. Yeah, he's just gone for it. Safer play. Again, bad spawn for these crosses. Searson getting very unlucky right now, and FaZe continue to use this mid-smoke just in case. Twist, don't know if he was spotted there. They're always going to be aware coming down lower as FaZe can take this space with a new Dust 2. And Twist, what an audacious angle to play in this round.
Oh my god, Searson is scoped up, but he still can't see him. Insane. Twist is just still too shallow. Oh, but he's having to watch way too many angles and just caught looking the wrong way. It's Crimbo to open up the round. He gets his first kill on the board, and it's a damn important one.
Yeah, a little upgrade for Searson on a rifle. Don't see this every day, but Searson rifle, it's nothing to turn your nose up at. We'll see what it looks like. It looks like Big just want to group for this B hit right now, throwing in utility. Still Tizian's holding on to long. They're trying to force a play out of FaZe. A flash up cat would go a long way, but it's Carrigan who activates first, spamming the corner, gets him out, and Searson trades with the A1S. It's Rain through a smoke, trades in middle or a mess right now, but they're going to favor Big.
I mean, once again, it comes down to these kind of two iron men within their bomb sites, right? Rops still sat pretty over towards B, and Brokey rotating through CT right now, already trying to get ahead of this one. And with the bomb now dropped by Rops, mid just needs to be covered by Brokey. If he can get this players before he goes through the doors, he could have saved Rops' life. Instead, Brokey's got to pick up the pieces all alone. Earlier on, though, we said this guy, you know, he's your clutcher. He's the one who's meant to deliver in moments like this. Brokey leaning into the window. Here's that bomb getting planted, knows that he's got a 1v1 right now, but not overstepping the mark. Tizian comes to him, and the no-scope lands. Now just Crimbo, the young gun, the man from Big Omen Academy, up against one of his toughest opposition yet. Brokey on the other side, out through the double doors, and trying to add a clutch to the tally, all ready to open up Dust 2. Would be one hell of a way to start. Toying with him right now, and on the swing, Crimbo just holding the angle, never got too nervous, never got too worried, didn't hear the drop out the window, and so he felt safe to keep holding those double doors.
That's such a mind game from Brokey. He's really trying to make the young'uns sweat there, right? Like, obviously, these are the two clutch players. Brokey, we know him for many a reason in these 1vx's, but for Crimbo, it was Dust 2 yesterday, where I think he pulled out 5 clutches in that map against Outsiders, some really sick 1v2 post plants to the B bomb site as well, and so he just holds his nerve there on the corner. Nice round out of Big, they needed it. Couple of missed shots for Brokey as well. It's not the end of the world, but it is the end of the money. Brokey is able to crowdfund an AWP, but that is the best. That is all FaZe really have. Famas on Rain, and just nothing on the rest. Brokey is going to be fighting down in CT right now. Cat take for Big. Not flashing Rain off. He's ready to re-peek at a moment's notice, but the only flash that is in the team right now is on Karrigan alone at long, so it can't be put to use. Rain's going to have to just play solo. He can always spot and drop, but Big are in no hurry right now. They're yet to make sound cues past that flashbang. Twist is anchoring down along with Karrigan, hoping that they won't check for him after his in-game leader dies. That's an if, though, right now, as Big are grouping up. They've not got a long lurker. They've got everyone on the Cat side. Rain, surely he doesn't go 1-for-1. He's got to get aggressive, and he does catch Tapson with nades out. Perfect way to take the advantage, and Brokey's even picked Crimbo through doors.
They're going to try and explode. They're going to try and hit the go button now, but this is not ideal circumstances. Someone needs to step up. Tizian has at least alleviated some of this pressure. Karrigan, fast short wrap, wins that with the MP9, and so now Searson and Favin have got to be the ones to get it over the line. Oh my goodness! Rops and Brokey just swing out. They swing and they win. Looking for that fight. They really wanted it with the fast short flanks coming in, with the quick CT rotate. And, you know, we were there watching Rain, hoping he was going to be getting involved, but just sniped down from those fast, short rotations.
That was such a quick, long take for Karrigan. I love it as well, right? He's the one coming in on Cat with the MP9 to trade that in the 4v4. And the reason that's so nice is because even if he's pushing up with an MP9 there and Tizian is still lurking long and he dies, Twist was tucked deep in pit. So FaZe had planned for both contingencies. Either Karrigan gets the full wrap and backstabs Big on a beautiful timing, or he dies and sets up his star for the round. Either way, it's a FaZe round with almost nothing to work with. Brokey makes up for the lost clutch with a double AWP kill. Peek off the flash is beautiful. Rain's going to get that opener. And this is only pistols for Big. They could have put more in, but I actually like the reserved investment, knowing that their rifle rounds are where they can truly unleash havoc. They're going to try and maximize that. So Deegs are out again. In their second round with Deegs, they got a couple of kills. Bit of damage. But is that viable here? Rain's on the site. Not giving away much. Good timing on that smoke as well. And Big don't have util to pop through. Uh-oh. Chunky nade incoming. And it's certainly not bad. Over 100 damage. Tabson's going to get boosted, maybe even run boosted, as Big yeet into the... not the yeet.
Oh no!
Oh, ace for Rain.
Started with a flubbed run boost, and it ends with the ace. That's kind of brutal, isn't it?
Yeah. Just a bit of a dribble boost there. Hate it when it doesn't land.
You know, might be dribbling on the outside, but it's pouring in the A bomb site. Wonderful round for Rain, right? Even though it is only versus pistols, still he helps his team keep it super clean. Never even gets worrying.
Here we go.
Oh, this is CS's best spawn yet, but even then, they're still up and past him now. He might be able to catch this player.
Yeah, don't.
Ballsy for Ops to, you know, even consider that one. And he does get punished. Over in middle, tagged by the orb. Still not the opener you wanted from CS, and you would have loved the kill, you would have loved the invitation. Instead, he's just been softened up a little bit. Still floating around these mid doors. That molly pushing him back and bringing him down even lower might force a bit of respect out of Rops.
God, he's got the thickest armor in the game right now, getting spammed by orbs, AKs, mollies. It's not taking Rops down. Carrigan's in this nice one and done spot, but you can certainly get more if it's not cleared, and it might not be the focus. He is the one who draws the peak, and now he's a bit cooked. He's a bit screwed. They're going to chase him. Molly is in. Sisson hits the shot. Oh dear, if Carrigan stayed tucked, maybe there's a world, but not right now. Rops has rotated round, but he's very low, as said. Getting up on the ramp is going to be almost impossible here. Brokey's trying to contain Catwalk, sees ahead, can't hit the shot. Faven spams him through the box, and it's Tizian coming back up through long to lead the charge into the empty A site. FaZe might keep it empty. They might have to save with 2 players down and no position. Big just keep it clean and cross with the smokes.
Oh yeah, I mean, the moment Brokey died, everyone from FaZe started to pull out of the site. They were like, look, this one is going to do more harm than good if we try to go into it, if we try to get back into this round. It just gets super awkward when you lose Carrigan long like that. It puts so much pressure on really just Brokey to make a play up the catwalk. There was no one else actually in the bomb site, right? Rops was trying to give it a look in from CT, but he was kind of pretty limited in terms of how much he can actually help there. And as Brokey's pushing in, you know, if he doesn't mop up the entire short component single-handedly, that was always going to be a very, very rough round. Searson even juggling that AWP out of there.
That was Faven, yeah. He's in the clown car right there, making sure that FaZe can't save it. You know that bomb can be misleading. It could maybe magically blow it through the doors, and FaZe grab their hands on it. Playing it very safe. And you got to do at this level. But Big are waking up. They're warming in. Couple of T-side rounds now to rest their head on. FaZe. We've seen them win the ecos already. Those low econ rounds are so threatening. Oh, a bit of a rundown mid. Searson uses the nade. So FaZe, even if they peeked mid, they wouldn't see him. They just see the bloom. Throwing that weird smoke out mid is going to scare Big for a moment. Now, if Searson didn't make this play, Big would be super concerned that maybe Twist is making this, mid push again. He's hiding behind Xbox, but Searson had all that early info, so Big are assured they don't have to worry about the smoke. They walk right through the mid doors. This is a lovely spawn timing play, and it's something that FaZe are not considering because of the util they threw. Tucked in B, Rops isn't even checking mid. He's going to finally move in with a jiggle from the window. Rops so clean in how he clears his corners, checks his angles. Brokey boosted up, looking for this cat pick on the corner, but they trade Molotovs instead, keeping Big out. A lot of the early round for Big is just going to be getting this utility out of FaZe and trying to figure out where the AWP is. Have they gambled B? Any information they can get can save them later in the round.
They might start to feel pressure, and they being FaZe with this double long setup to maybe get a bit aggressive, right, and do something to move this second player away. Because at this point, if a B execute came in, your rotations are so far removed that it would be like a 2v5 for the B site, and if your players don't go even, then you lose the round. So we kind of have Carrigan freed up a little. Brokey wins the AWP battle and even goes back in for more. Searson gets his head removed, and Faven is cut down in middle. Real nice adjustments out of FaZe here. They drop the bomb up on Cat. Big 2 versus 5, turn 2v4, but with only 12 seconds left, they're running for the hills. Reigns pushed the long angle, looking to drive the knife in the back of Crimbo, and Tizian will just try to save this AWP. However, FaZe do not want to let him get away with it. He's dealt with the first. Brokey, it's ballsy to go for this.
Well worth it. I say well worth it to try and take the AWP out after time. That would be a killing blow to Big, but nice save for Tizian. He had to peek Rain there on Catwalk. If he waited, Rain could have collapsed on him with Brokey, so gets the one kill he must. Crimbo got a lot of space in mid after trading Rops, wanted to split that mid to B, but the bomb up on Cat, he'd rather try and keep his gun, but that's denied. Again by the long aggro, that's a shot for Searson. Rops, it's not just a tag, this time it's a headshot. Smoke may be down, but Rops tries to jump over it to still get that info, and you can't turn your grapes into raisin and wine. You got to have one or the other, Harry, wet or dry. Rops down first, and now Big. This is the round made for them now.
Yeah, I mean, they really want to try and milk this for all it's worth. Yeah, not often, in fact, not at all, that you've been able to get that cross shot off and go 5-on-4 up so early in the round. FaZe, they want to respond. They were leaning towards long early, but now they've kind of changed their tune, looking to take short away.
Yes.
Flash from Rain to set Karrigan up. Searson misses the shot, but Karrigan does not want to commit to this fight, doesn't want to get caught on an island. He heard that Molotov coming in, so it's a good move to not kind of give them this free kill on the short side. And now he's looking to recommit a little bit later. He doesn't have the flash this time, so it's going to have to be dry, but that might work to his favor. No one's looking at it. No one's considering it. Searson was about to re-peek from Xbox, but instead is just turned up by the IGL, the front man of FaZe. Crimbo out into the B site, trying to create space, trying to give Big a chance, and it's going to come down to this 3v3 retake in towards B.
Karrigan's going through. He's not waiting, and Tizian had to cover. He heard those footsteps crossing. He looked for a chance, but now FaZe have been dug a grave. 2v3 on the retake. They've got a kit, but nothing else to work with but the guns, and the numbers alone might spell a save for FaZe. What a clutch kill for Crimbo to get them in that B bomb site in the first place. It was Brokey who was in the window trying to anchor down. He wanted to die with the ship. He wanted to get into B, and falling in the air when he's most inaccurate, he's picked out of it. That's a massive kill for Crimbo to save it, and Tizian shooting Karrigan coming through the door. It looks crazy, but if Karrigan doesn't go there and Big get a plant and then they set up, it's still 3-on-3 with not a single bit of utility for FaZe on the retake. It's still unfavorable. Karrigan tries to catch him off guard, but
I mean, plus, you know, up until that point in the round, all of Karrigan's success had came from these dry peaks with no telegraphing and just being like hyper aggressive, right? And so, you know, in the sense of trying to disrupt the setup, in the sense of trying to get in there quickly while someone's planting the bomb, and he is like a temporary 1v2, and the fact it's been super successful all throughout the rest of the round, you know, you understand why he attempts it, but ultimately it does mean that the entire, you know, whether or not you give that round a go comes down to one fight. So. Now Big up onto 4. They're able to deliver on that early opener.
Rops isn't going to make that mistake again of fighting mid, is he, right? He didn't jump over this time. He just took the smoke and crossed safe. Been punished a couple of times by Searson. Tizian close on the long smoke, but Karrigan could maul him here. We know those smokes, in terms of, you know, the fading can be very random at times with who they favor. More often the player inside of the smoke, but both players holding on to it. Karrigan wants to re-peek, he always does. Here they come, great entry for Tizian. Rain tucked in, he's been here a lot, but they haven't cleared it yet, and they do go in with a hard check. Nice flash, causes Rain to turn away, and Big can now bleed this round out. There's a minute on the clock, there is no hurry for this execute. With Crimbo still down lower, climbing back up Catwalk to retake is not a possibility for FaZe. They have already thrown in the towel. Big don't know it yet, they've got to play this round like it's still live, but essentially it's a 5th round already taken.
And I mean, you know, it might not be the kind of most rip-roaring response out of FaZe, but you kind of fully understand why this is how they've played it out. Whenever they've had these double long setups, if they end up getting bested like this, or even single long setups in the round where we kind of have that third A player floating towards CT a bit more. Well, what happened last time this happened? Karrigan died at long. Long was suddenly open. Brokey tried to re-aggro short and take it, and Big were there. Big dealt with him. And so every single time they've tried to go into that like safety net of taking short away, still being in a position to give the round a go on the eye test. Normally it's done more harm than good, so the decision comes in pretty much immediately once those long players die that Brokey is just going to leave the round, going to hold on to that AWP. It's the only way you're going to have much in this follow-up. there's no ignoring it. Big is starting to piece together a pretty compelling T side.
Absolutely.
And I mean, if they're able to deliver on this next round, then they have that. They have a moment where they kind of really just break all the money of FaZe and are going to look to leapfrog themselves into the lead.
Yeah, and it won't be like last Eco, right, where at least Brokey had the AWP round the Deagles, so, you know, they won it with a 2K off of Brokey and the Karrigan's MP9 long push. FaZe will have nothing, so, yeah, this is such an important round. It's one that FaZe aren't even buying in. They're playing for later, just in case. Searson holds for the jump again. No one makes that mistake. AWP leaning back B again. But we're about time in the game where Big have started abusing long. It always felt inevitable. They've gone out delayed twice in a row. This one very quick, though. And FaZe have no one here. And they've got to make that call. Like, do we want to risk this AWP? Do we want to risk these guns in what is clearly a majority long take? And FaZe, they like their odds. They haven't got a flash to pop through the long smokes, but they can boost the guns into the bomb site. Brokey wants to take a pick as they bloom. Very ballsy peek, and Searson punishes it. FaZe now sneaking through. Here's the pickup, but there's so many more men in the bomb site.
FaZe walking in ahead of the rest of the pack. He's going to need a pretty stellar flashbang to help him close the distance here. USP can try to, you know, draw attention in. Instead, Rops goes swinging wide, and Favin's going to double up on the back of it. At this point, Karrigan going to start to tuck tail and run away with the AWP. Twist is doing much the same. And, you know, the bare minimum, if you hold on to the AWP, that's the only way you were going to have one into round 13.
Yeah,
but these long takes for Big, man, it feels like they've kind of found their little gap, their thing that they want to keep exploiting.
Yeah, and both last long takes, Brokey has started B as well, right? So you've not even got your AWP that you'd love on the cross, like either starting along with a pick. A lot of that is going to be coming down to spawn as well, but also because Big were abusing mid to B's, or not even abusing, but we're going for a lot of mid takes and we're going for B plays early in this map. Now that they've switched it up, Brokey will surely go back to the A bomb site with an AWP. You hope he has a spawn, but at the same time, Big aren't exactly like running long off of their instant spawns with a flash. They're delaying it, they're waiting out the smokes, and then they're, you know, posting Searson up as well. So we'll see how Brokey approaches this one, and that will also depend on his spawn, as said. And he has Karrigan with the best spawn.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of like where the mind games look to begin as well, between Karrigan and tabseN, right? Trying to figure out what your opponent's going to do, because this long area has been super enticing. But then there's almost this party that goes, okay, they know we have guns now, they know we have the AWP. Is this where they switch it up? Maybe they hit us with a fast B, a fast mid to B. You know, when you kind of look at Big, one of the things that, you know, the guys from Sprout originally brought over when they joined this team were an array of very, very exciting, like, cat takes and cat utility that already supplemented the stellar kind of Big meta that they'd set up by throwing, you know, the double smokes out towards short to help you cross into the site. So there's a lot of kind of emphasis usually around middle, around catwalk for Big. It felt like that's what FaZe were ready for early on. These last few rounds have almost changed the tune on that, and so he will have a bit of a lean over towards A, still anticipating that Big are going to lean into what's been working, what's been comfortable. Is that the case, though? As they take lower fast, there's always a chance that this is a quick mid to B out of Big.
tabseN is so blind, and he's in the molly. He's running into the door. He didn't know. He was so flashed out. That was a team flash as well. Just didn't turn in time. And, you know, FaZe, they started with Brokey on A. Flash Karrigan into that long control that he now currently holds. And FaZe have got Rain back on this corner. But this time he can't get a one and done and catch Big lining up this utility. Not only because of the smoke, but also because Searson's here. And this guy does not give you a second to think. Big, they've established their control. It looks like a B round, to be honest, with the option open to go back into Crimbo. They have no long lurker. Although on these cat takes, they haven't had any long lurkers. So, you know, Big are going to waltz out middle again with the free real estate. Rops and Twist tucked in the bomb site playing crossfires. No one's watching mid.
And now those smokes go out. You know, Karrigan's going to try hit the go button on his long doors push any moment, you imagine, but it's far too late. Won't carry the impact. So Rops, all alone in the B site, really needs a double. And with only one coming out of him, if you don't get a kill, quickly, you don't even consider going for this round.
Wow.
And Rain runs away. Searson is given the respect in mid. He's even hunting with the AWP. Bigger up onto 7. You at least needed even 1-for-1 trades on the B hold, and even that might not what have tempted you in.
That's so sad to see Rain miss Searson there in the middle. If he just walks up, Searson's looking the wrong way. But even, as you say, even if you get that kill, I don't think FaZe go for the 3v3. We've already seen them give up similar positions on these B retakes. What a nice change of tune from Big, who abuse long and back-to-back gun rounds, and then go for a speedy mid to B. Yeah, FaZe, you can get all the exits you want in this game. It's all you've been doing, keeping Big's economy on the edge, but it doesn't matter if you don't break it. And right there, they're going to lose the AWP. One of them. Brokey saves his.
We very much hit this point in the game now where it feels like, you know, tabseN and Big are the ones in control of the cooling, right?
Yeah.
Early on, FaZe had a lot to disrupt these kind of mid plays, to get rid of Big's cat control, to force them into these like late B commits. As long's become a problem, as new issues have arisen, it feels like Big are the ones in the driver's seat all of a sudden, and it's FaZe desperately scrambling for solutions here.
Yeah, Searson's going for the long pick as well. Posted quick. He will not hit that shot. Looked like he could have legged him, but not today. Rain, repeak is dangerous. Searson timing shot does not connect. I want you to take your eyes on the scoreboard for a second for Big, because you'll notice the numbers aren't good, but the rounds are there. tabseN, we often call him a fragging in-game leader. He's 2-8. It hasn't mattered. No one's positive on Big except Tizian. The amount of rounds this guy's pummeled out long with a double entry and just won the round for Big is incredible. Tizian's knocking fools down on these entry kills, and it's winning rounds. We don't even need the whole shebang because Tizian's doing it alone. Karrigan dead first. Rain behind the smoke. Knife out for tabseN. It's awkward. He dinks Searson, but he can't finish the kill. Oh, this is a mess. Brokey's also here, hiding out in the corner smoke. And one shot on either of these players will the Deagle will do. They found him. They spam him out. And Tizian is taking names today.
That is insane. You know, right as you're kind of building him up as this guy that's been cracking rounds open out towards long, he delivers. Smoke spam is good for twists. Even then, you know, on numbers alone, you're still dubious about giving this one a look in. The safer option is just to back out, hold on to these guns, and try to get in the next.
Yeah. But how long can you keep saying that, Harry? I mean, even if the saves are justified out of the situations FaZe are in, there's only one round left of the half. There's only one chance for FaZe to put these guns to use and actually make the right read. And right now it feels so hard to know what Big are going to call because they keep varying between the mid to Bs and the long takes, and FaZe every time are in the wrong place. Even right there when they had triple long, somehow Tizian not only knocks down the first, but Brokey, who felt like he could have won the round with that position. Both Searson and Tizian were 20 health. And I think Tizian walked into him in the smoke.
He did.
Because he suddenly realized and started shooting.
Yeah, and it was right as the smoke was fading, so you never know what little hints, you know, the radar could have given in moments like that.
Barrel poking through, perhaps.
But very, very well done for Big to take control of the game like this. You know, considering, look at the round timeline there. This was 6-3 to FaZe. They were in full control of this one.
All saves.
Now we've had this like huge turnaround where I don't even know what you can do at long. You just tried triple longing and you still got annihilated and it lost the round immediately.
Oh, tabseN.
The balls on this guy makes it super deep. Everybody's blind. But in the end, Karrigan will at least win the head-to-head between IGLs. Is that going to give him a bit more confidence? tabseN now cooling from beyond the grave.
This is nice. They're smoking off Searson in the doors and they're mollying the blue bin. They're really trying to catch these players who they know are already out long. Searson can't even assist. I think that smoke missed, though. I don't know where it landed. Big smoked the molly already, but it never went out from Brokey. It never landed, so Searson's given an open line of sight, and maybe that was called by FaZe because they don't commit, they don't push off of that utility. As a result, Big aren't given away back in. Maybe it's middle where FaZe something. Rops walks in. Oh, the trade is denied. The nade should do it, but Rain doesn't get out in time. Second ought to find the frag. FaZe 3 health, and he's causing commotion in middle.
That is unreal. FaZe should not be getting away with this. Brokey is trying to make a stand on the cross, but they're just going to smoke him. Okay, molly for the smoke isn't ideal, but a missed shot goes out, and so the bomb now goes down. Crimbo with the long plant.
How do you win this?
It's going to be rough, right? The only way back in is that you've still got low HP for FaZe. That nade's already gone out on short, though, hoping to deal with him. And FaZe's played it super safe. You got to deal with the site plays. You got to win this 2v2, and then you got to figure out a way to beat The long AWP. Searson is set up to win the round.
Can't save now, boys. What are you going back for? Looking for nades, looking for a chance out. It's not allowed. Big are set up for a 9-6 half in FaZe, whether you like it or not. That's all you've got. Twist gonna try and cross. Headshot through the wall, and Faven closes. Faven, the hero of that round, not even had to really talk about him too much, but he comes in clutch. The nade from Rain, if the first one lands, it could be a different story, but he switches too soon, and Faven pokes his head out on cat corner and kills Rain. What a mess for FaZe in this half. It felt like they were in full control, and from the first time that Big got away with a long hit, they did not drop a round since. Such a well-called T-side.
Yeah, you know, you got to admire the kind of resilience there, right? You're taking a bit of a beating, 6-3 down. It feels like everything you're trying is failing, or, you know, the successes are just few and far between. And then suddenly you realize your golden opportunity. You realize your chance.
B-spawn, worth thinking about.
Not a util to make it happen. Even enough to throw in a mid to B if you wanted. Could just elect to use these on the push instead, and that's going to be the case, right? Everyone grouping, coming up through the tunnels. Crimbo's got quite a job ahead of him here. First kill found. Rain has dealt with Tizian, but Crimbo is still fighting. Having to get the reload off. All of his teammates are dying around him, but Crimbo refuses to fall, and he's on for the ace. 4 in the round. The solo B anchor. While everyone else was rotating into their deaths, he was able to stand his ground. And now Carrigan, alone in this clutch, now in towards mid. They've heard him running it. They know where he is. Both players clean for Carrigan. Second man's low, but Tabson will lock the round in. And Big win the CT pistol. Some fancy trigger work from Crimbo, and Tabson to close. He might only have 3 kills there, but that one in the pistol, that one kill he was able to add to the tally, has maybe just set Big up to start running away with this game.
Oh, these are fire shots for Crimbo, man. This what a story this has got to be for this guy. Chain on the neck, looking fresh right now, and just dunking on FaZe Clan here in the 2-0 game. My God. This guy was playing Academy League a couple of months ago. Now he's right at home in the big house. FaZe in a jail of their own making. Double scout, triple deeg. Desperate times. Tabson, he's letting them out, Cat. This nade is for a wide peek. Off the back of Searson's call, he can lob it. FaZe may have mid control. Double mid to B smoke comes in. Carrigan gets cut off. He doesn't care. Tries to catch that rotate. He knows they're shifting as his team are throwing this mid utility. Range trying to gun him down, run him down in the B bomb site. Crimbo's out in the open. Got to use that box for cover as Faven has given up the door control. Crimbo does win his fight. A clean shot to Rops, and with this smoke down, FaZe can go nowhere into B. They've got to wait for Carrigan in tunnels, now filtering through the window. Faven has swapped sides, swapped sights, and given FaZe B, but is that going to cost Big?
Yeah, if you're Big, you know, if this was a rifle round, you might consider writing it off. You don't want to do that because this is a force out of FaZe. You want to win this. You want to launch yourself into the lead by taking conversions. As they group to go for this one. Left hanging in the balance, a bit of utility goes in. They're going to try and explode on the back of this flash. Faven lobs it through. First kill found. The SMG is churning through them. And even though Carrigan takes one in the grave with him, it was never enough.
Swap,
it's
swap,
close.
swap.
The guy without the kits on
my
it.
God.
Oh, it's so
Faven could have done
now.
it. I don't think they
got it.
Faven had a kit. And Big still win the round.
That is so close.
Searson.
Trust in Searson. He knows his timings.
Oh, he has that 10-second music on. I did not think he had that round. Faven screaming, begging, no, give me the defuse. Gimme, gimme, gimme. And Searson holds his nerve. My God. That's the first B retake we've seen all game, and well, it's certainly close for Big, but a round is a round.
Oh, look at this though, FaZe. They want to go again, right? That round comes so close. They know the money is still garbage for Big, so they're still in with chances to upset this early on. Now, this can kind of dig you an early grave if FaZe aren't able to keep up these appearances in the Force by rounds.
But FaZe just want to play gun rounds, man. They've not had a chance. They've not played this map. It feels like their whole CT side was saving. You understand why they go for it. Like you said, digging a hole. This is a risk-reward play. This is a sign of the times for FaZe. Very scary call to have made on this early T-half, because if they lose it, they're going down 13-6 without any problem.
Triple long setup for Big as well. Perfect time to have pulled this out.
Hello.
Tizian running through, wins the head-to-head onto Rain, and tabseN swinging it with him. They've mowed down the long component. Now karrigan Scout will deliver the first. Still needs to flush out all these players that are just crunching long, that are moving in. They're playing around the bomb. They're playing to keep an eye on it. ropz throwing a flash over, tries to set Brokey in, and he will win another fight. 2 versus 2, csgo on this orb. Oh, gonna close it with a double.
Not supposed to get that. Where's the trade? Felt like ropz would have that for sure, but csgo's very quick, wiggling around on the plat, and Big finding 12. This is a masterclass. This is a Big who are 2-0 and are here to take down the world's best. They are fighting tooth and nail for every round. And just with Crimbo in, man, it's not a one-man army, of course. He's had his rounds, but it's just the extra spicy bit of firepower that Big needed. You know, Crimbo called in his academy team as well, right? So it's just, you know, obviously he doesn't have that tier 1 experience, but bringing in more ideas, bringing a new brain to the table of Big, who have had tabseN leading this squad for so many years through thick and thin. karrigan, that's despicable.
I wanted to bring it up earlier, back in Katowice, back in Pro League as well. karrigan emerged as like the one of the best scout players you've ever seen, and he's keeping that up. ropz, man, with these jumps over smokes for info, continuously getting betrayed by it. And so it's a 4-on-4. karrigan waits in mid with this scout and lands a tag to Crimbo. I'm never ready to write off a karrigan scout round.
As good as German Deeks are, well, FaZe Deeks, that's something else entirely. csgo's orb is here though, no smoke, they've got to walk it dry, and this is going to be a shooting at ground hunting season for csgo. Tizian's got 2, and csgo will close a D from Twist, but it will make no difference as Big find a 13th. It was always going to be this way after that double force from FaZe, but here is their gun round, and it might, Harry, be their one and only gun round in the entire T-half featuring an AWP. Brokey's got it. He's been no sleeper. Him and Rain have performed. But it might not matter if this round goes astray.
Double short boost early. And, you know, this is like more examples of them using this CT csgo orb to try and open up rounds. So often they just put him in these little positions to try and succeed, to try and slip an early 5-on-4 past the opponent. This time it will miss the mark, and Rain was able to scare him away with a bit of damage there. Kept his wits about him. Hinge smoke in, gives you a cross up onto Catwalk. The rest of FaZe are walking long, tucked in, waiting at the blue bin. Tizian sits.
When karrigan was here, he faced. Oh, Tizian, don't make the same mistake. You got csgo baiting for you.
Good, but he's checked. Brokey 4 blinds and csgo tries to get away, thinks he's going to get shown some element of respect there, but karrigan just runs at him, runs him down, and so Big might be left saving. That kill from tabseN, not going to entice you yet, but if he were to win this mid-fight versus ropz, suddenly you're intrigued. A plant yet to come in for FaZe. ropz does not want to go down and deliver a 3-on-3, because suddenly Big might look to retake this. With the bomb now planted, timing's kind of gone for tabseN to pull it back into a retakeable round. He does have teammates in upper tunnels who are starting to slide this way.
What a timing.
ropz, he's caught looking towards the tunnel, but it doesn't mean much, right? So much time has already ticked off the bomb. You're left saving. And so FaZe, they finally cook up a winning strategy here.
Yeah, karrigan-esque, running through the long corner smoke off the back of 1 kill. He knew this setup, especially when you see Tizian tucked in like that and not facing. You know he's got a supportive element to try and bait for him, and that was the intention for FaZe. Cut out the AWP. You know, it was seen on Cat early, but as is the meta for a CT orb, wherever you get spotted, if you live, you're going to move. You're going to rotate round, especially on a map like Dust, where, you know, those rotates are so quick on the CT half. So, yeah, FaZe smoke off csgo. They charge him through a smoke. Nothing new for karrigan, and then FaZe convert around. A taste of Big's own medicine, perhaps, but is it a one and done? Is it a flash in the pan, or can FaZe build back into this T side? These are the questions.
Oh, that's a tag.
Lovely. They haven't used these smokes on the doors yet. Jumps are a little dangerous, as we can see. I wonder if that's something that Big will employ in another gun round. Because while it's fine now, you're okay with Crimbo being half health. Next time, it's a headshot, and you're regretting it all. $300 to stop a pick. Worthy investment. Roki's got 2 sets of util here. What's he lobbing? Or just maybe mashing flashes all damn day.
That's likely to be the case, right? When it looked like FaZe wanted to take long. However, they've kind of reconsidered this on the back of that re-smoke in the long doors. They peel a lot of the attention away from this side of the map. Brokey will start to get these long flashes out.
It's a corner smoke first.
That molly misses. Was hoping that would have flushed out a close doors player. Twist goes in to enemy territory over at long and his triple swung. They even follow up on a Carrigan who was all the way out through middle, but he was kind of on an island. He was all alone and wasn't even kind of playing into the grandiose strat of the round. The rest of the gang are moving down Cat. They have got csgo, who can't flick back in time. Rain's little bald head didn't give it all away. So now that plant looks to come in. FaZe, this is a nice spot, especially with Rops down in lower tunnels. He was cleared last time in the 3-on-4, and this time he's not going to get given chances. They bypass him entirely and look to instead just fight these site players. Rops could get left out of position if these guys on shore don't make a bit of a stand. Missed shots for Brokey, and with every shot that misses, Big are getting closer. Molly forces Rain out into the open. Rops needs to start moving. He's just too far away. He's far too far away. They're on the bomb. He's running up short, but he's not going to get there in time. And Big, they run it down. They fight the site players. And the late lurk from Rops is meaningless.
Yeah, it was a cap plan. I thought he was going to go right up Xbox, but he instead tries to chase some CT. That's the realization that, oh, I'm in lower and they're not climbing up Xbox. They must be in spawn. And while he catches timing, his team both get mollied. Not just Brokey missing all those sitters on the AWP, but then his teammate mollied out of the Gandalf corner. As soon as you know Rops is spawn, you stick in the 10-second and Big get it done. Nothing Rops can do about it. And now FaZe, desperation, looking to run into this B-bomb site. Rain, he's throwing in smokes quick. That's a door smoke from mid. It's going to be a mow down for Fav, and they haven't even cleared. Crimbo flashed out, finally unblinded, and here to do the dirty work through the smoke. And it's only Rain in the blink of an eye.
Wow. I mean, what a way to stop the B-rush. You know, that is so clean. Those kind of, you know, lots of util into like a B execute. So often those give some sort of result over, right? So often you're able to try and break your way in, but you've got to give a lot of credit to Crimbo and Favon on these B leans, man. So often just repelling them. Yeah. It all started with the pistol, with a big 4K from Crimbo, and it's kept up. He tries his hand at the mid-peak again. Doesn't get given anything. Searson, that was ballsy. Trying to get stuck in, running the the mid-doors smoke. Carrigan's been able to taper that aggression off. Favon clearly didn't get the memo, has slipped the net. Getting out through the mid-doors now has a lot to consider and oversteps the mark just a little bit in an attempt to reclaim that man advantage. Tabson up close, besting Carrigan, and no one nearby to trade that kill, no one nearby to help out.
All right, true test for Crimbo now. He's 1v3, Harry. There's a lurker up long. Do FaZe want to wait for Twist, or is he going to try and backstab? They've got to succeed. They've got to get through Crimbo. He has been a tank. He has been a turret, and he sits behind the box with one. Baits the AWP shot. Rain's crossing in, and Crimbo decks the king. It's a 1v1. Twist is too far away to play, and Roki, even though he cuts down rotates, it's a pistol all over again. Crimbo needs no support. The bomb loose. Twist stuck out in middle, and Big will work this one out. The smoke fades. Twist gets his shot, but it's Crimbo looking for his second clutch of the map.
It's all on this, Crimbo, mate. The B holds have been so clean. Can he put a stop? Two twists out through the doors, and there he is from the big Omen Academy to the bad Omen Academy. There's no getting into his B site today. Wow, Big. They go 1-0 up to kickstart this series. They lock in Dust 2, and considering this started so strong for FaZe, everything comes up big as we get late into that second half. half.
Yeah, give the kid a pat on the back. That was a monstrous map. No clutches in the game for FaZe, not a single one. 3 from Big, 2 on Crimbo. Tabson in the pistol with that 3rd kill of the map. What an excellent game for Big. The T side was amazingly called. The CT side was solid. FaZe had a couple of sneaky rounds in there, a long take, a cat to A, but there was nothing to rely on for FaZe. It's Dust 2. It's what we saw yesterday from Big on that map against Outsiders, and now we have FaZe's pick and Mirage coming up. Harry, I said there was no way Big are going to 2-0, but maybe we're in a world. Maybe there's a way. What do you think, James?
There is always a way, and if Crimbo can do some more clutching and damage like that, I'm sure there is. For the Big fans around the world, they certainly put the hurt onto FaZe here, and I'm just going to come back to a point, Pimp, where I think you looked at the score and you said, "What? Oh, it's 6-3 right now." You know, like, oh, this is like looking good for FaZe. And then all of a sudden, all we get is big rounds going forward.
We got some big like 2020, 2019 during COVID when they were the best team in the world on Dust 2, absolutely destroying everyone. A very controlled game, I'd say, for Big. And again, we talked about, we were trying to find different areas in the game where, okay, maybe Big can contest FaZe Clan in this area. Maybe Citizen can match Brokey. It felt like a team of Big just coming in right here. It felt like everyone contributed, and I guess that's the winning way for Big Clan. That's how they became the best team in the world during COVID, and that's how they, I guess, is trying to become a very, not dominant team, but becoming a very competitive team now in 2022 as well.
I think early on, the only player that we didn't talk about, Tizian, was maybe the one that was on fire. So yeah. that also tells. We're talking about Big's depth. Like there's more to this team than there was a couple of months ago. So amazing, just coming back from that 6-3, winning 13 rounds, losing just 1. FaZe, especially after losing the pistol, Crimbo there with a 4K, then converting. I was a very, very close force buy that came in. Big converted that, just started rolling. And there was a 3v3 late on that FaZe could have won and maybe made a comeback somehow, but it didn't happen.
And I think this scoreboard paints a pretty clear picture as well. We talked about the firepower, Faven, Tabson, probably the 2 best riflers within Big, the 2 guys with the most firepower. They were laying in the bottom of the scoreboard, and Big Clan still managed to not only win against FaZe Clan, but dominate FaZe Clan. So it was not about the individuals, it was not about the firepower, it was about Big being a better team on Dust 2.
And that is the story. And Big, right, have constantly, for the last years, been picking Dust 2. Even when I say you shouldn't pick Dust 2, it's such a map like this. They're one of the few teams that say they can get away with it. But I don't know about you guys. The whole time I was sat there, I was just waiting for this comeback that FaZe have shown many times. Yeah, didn't happen.
They're very good at that, and they're very good at just staying alive. And I think there was a chance. Like I was thinking, okay, I think it was 13-6 at some point. T side Dust 2 with the current CT side in meta and the changes of Dust 2, very hard as it is. But like this could be a Kerrigan masterclass. Let's see if this is gonna happen. They got 1 round and it was over.
It was over. Now we move on to Mirage. And okay, this is going into FaZe Clan's pick, right? Fair enough. But this is also a map that, again, fits quite nicely here for Big Clan. I'm not going to get too excited just yet. We know FaZe can have slow starts for sure. But if you're FaZe right now, you need to work out what the hell you're playing at when it comes to this one.
I agree, but I will also say I feel like Mirage is a different map than Dust 2. They often get put in the same category, but I don't believe that's the case. It's not as easy to dominate an opponent as a team on Mirage as it is on Dust 2. You can play with long, like take an example on Dust 2, right? If you take long control every single time and the opponent doesn't know how to figure that out, you can win a game based on that. Whereas on Mirage, you need individual firepower. You need someone to step up and take the duels and win the duels.
You don't think they have firepower? Didn't we just say like they have so much more firepower?
But that was enabled by the team.
I'm not saying that FaZe doesn't have more, but that's not really a realistic bar to set. I think if you talk about like teams in general, like Big are pretty good. They have a lot of depth along the board, but I think their Mirage historically hasn't been that great, right? What is this? 3 wins out of like 10, 12 games that they played. Some of course they made changes, so it's not the same lineup. But some of the teams that they lost to here, being Wisla Krakow, Entropic, K23, FaZe, it's not the highest caliber opposition. So I feel like I'm not that convinced by their Mirage.
It's easier to have firepower when you feel comfortable on a map. When all players know what to do, all players know what duels to take, and I guess all the duels are in your own favor because you did something with your grenades or something to lure out the opponent. That's not going to be the case on Mirage. I think we're having a reality check right here where FaZe, at least according to my money, I expect them to come in and blow Big out of the server. I don't think there's much Big can do in that regard, unless FaZe is having an off day. I was very impressed with what Big did here on Dust 2. They fully deserved the win. They by far were the better team. My point is, it's way, way tougher to do that on a map like Mirage than it is on Dust 2.
Well, if they get themselves themselves maybe into some clutches, and Big can enjoy the Crimbo effect. Because
I mean, they won 3 clutches here in this game as well, so that also helps, just making it a very comfortable game. Also, winning on the T side of Dust 2, you're always either you get the entries and just win outright, or you put your opponent in a bad situation where they have to save, where they don't want to risk these like 3v3s, 4v4s across the sites. And this is amazing. From
7 so far in 2 days.
I think no one saw this coming. Like, it's like, this Crimbo guy's kind of good, you know?
No, okay, we watched him. Me and Pimp watched him in the Academy League, right? He was good, but he was also IGLing, but I wasn't wowed to this level, and also I didn't even look at him to think he'd be doing against this level of competition.
He was decent. He wasn't a player that made the difference, I'd say, for Big Omen Academy. Maybe in terms of calling, but it's hard for us from the outside to really figure out how much of an impact he's having. But firepower-wise, he's been surprising me a lot, and I guess we keep coming back to it. You know, firepower-wise, it looks better for Big than it's done in quite some time. And again, I don't want to pound on the fact that Kilo's no longer here, right? But it was the same Big lineup for a very, very long time, and a constant point of conversation for us were the lack of firepower. When they lost Santeros, they lacked firepower, and it felt like they've gotten more in favor, and now also Crimbo.
It's also like how they play the game, sometimes maybe being too tactical, too conservative, and in this game, at least, they didn't have to be conservative. Like, when things got rolling, they had the economy, they didn't need to go for ecos or whatever. They just played it out, and converting that like B retake on the CT side to get the good start, that kind of helps out. It's weird when you look at the scoreboard. You don't even know who won. Like all the players have like 18 to 8 frags on both sides. It's one of these weird Dust 2s where you get the entries, save a lot, and I feel like, of course, Mirage is going to be a more open map. It's not that kind of a map where if you get into bomb site, it's job done, right? It's not going to happen like that. Even the B bomb site, not that amazing to retake, but the A bomb site is like constant battle. You don't really get these, okay, we made the great call, we got the entry, and this is job done.
Mirage is a map for fraggers, James, and that's what we're going to see.
That's why I don't play it.
Let me ask you this question though, right? Okay, FaZe Clan lost the first map, a little bit maybe shocked and surprised by it, but are we maybe just underestimating the understanding of what levels Big's at here, or is this FaZe just needing to show up? Do you think we really saw the full FaZe just then?
We didn't see the full FaZe, obviously, right? It's always a case of a bit of both in a way. I think Big Clan, though, was super, super impressive on Dust 2. That was probably the best game they played as a lineup as a whole so far with Crimbo. It's a massive win. Obviously, it's the best of 3, so they haven't won anything yet, but that performance, you know, if you isolate that, that was some very solid Counter-Strike from Big. But you can't take away the fact that Brokey lost a couple of rounds, you know, played some situations he would have won, you know, had it been a couple of days ago. So no, FaZe Clan weren't looking too good.
I want to just put it out there, a Big, obviously, coming into this tournament, they weren't even among the top 8 ranked teams. Fnatic was there, so maybe, they're kind of the borderline team expected to go through. They're already 2-0. They can just qualify for the major today with 1 out of 2 maps, and that would be amazing for them. On the other hand, Na'Vi already lost. Vitality is in the 2-1 pool, and it could be FaZe as well. That could be a kind of a bloodbath there.
That's not a world that anyone expected to be in at all, right? But overall, Mirage, you guys are still saying, yes, okay, FaZe will get the job done here. But are we worried that maybe they didn't expect Big to come in this well prepared? You know, we know they, like you mentioned, Prof, sometimes they can be too tactical in it. But now could they be the perfect mix here to be able to take down a FaZe? Are you seeing a 2-0?
I'm not seeing it. I'm not convinced about their Mirage, but I think there is definitely a chance. It could be an open game, just a game where both teams have their chances. But I think with that and then you coming after it, I feel like there is definitely a realistic chance. Like the Dust 2 win was a must, but it was like so convincing that it gives you just that like extra bit. But I think FaZe are still in this like very seriously.
I fully agree. I've really been impressed with Big, not only in this game, not only in Dust 2, but so far in this tournament. You said it yourself coming into the tournament, no one really knew where to put him, right? They were maybe close to making it, maybe not. Right now they look like a contender. Even if they were to lose to FaZe right here, I think just with this win on Dust 2 in the fashion they did it, that's a statement to the rest of the tournament as well. Big have a decent chance, you know. It's a 50-50 game now, I feel. FaZe are still the favorites on Mirage, but
50-50?
Yeah, I'd say so, you know. Ooh. FaZe have to win 2 in a row. Big Clan just need one of the next 2, and I think that's a 50-50 in my book.
2 times more.
Freedom, I never had the chance to run. Leave behind the said and done. Figure out what's to come. Reasons, all the bigger things I can't ignore. don't you keep it to yourself for once? Oh, I think I found a new way out, way beyond your shadow doubt, and I can't breathe. Oh, I hope you're keeping count of all the times you let me down, and all the things you said out loud, the bullshit I could cry about. And I know we could be stronger now, and leave it up to fate somehow. But everything I do for me. Feelings, it's like I can't walk on the ceiling. Oh yeah, got me dreaming, dreaming in colors I never dreamed in. Oh yeah, I let you in deeper than I let anyone else before. Filling up with my broken pieces, took 'em all and made 'em yours. Didn't know what my heartbeat needed, skipping out, no I can't keep score. When I lose my breath, boy, you got me breathing. Oh, every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Oh. Magic. No, I'm never letting go. Now that I have it with you. When you kiss me, it's like the stars fall out the sky onto my heart to cover up what I don't wanna show. I let you in deeper than I let anyone else before. Filling up with my broken pieces, took 'em all and made 'em yours. Didn't know what my heartbeat needed, skipping out, no I can't keep score. When I lose my breath, boy, you got me breathing. Oh, every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Oh, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, yeah, you take me higher, baby. I'm getting freaky. Yeah, what you gonna do when I come? Everybody know I'm a visual. Yeah, I kill it cold like a criminal. I'm everybody's type, but nobody can deny. 'Cause you know I get it, I'm getting freaky.
Big either. You know, obviously you said this is a lot better of a map for FaZe. That much is a safe bet. For Big, it's one that they haven't touched all too much with this roster. They've got maps played on it. They've certainly not faced this level of competition. But, you know, with some of the individuals popping off last map, with the entries Tizian was giving, with the cross shots from Searson, with the clutches out of Crimbo, hey, there's certainly a world here for Big where they could surprise and steal this one 2-0 and not just go to the major, Harry, but go there as legends, skipping a whole stage. Damn. We'll see if they can do it, though. FaZe on that T-side start. And was pretty desperate last time around. This one's methodical to begin. We've got Util being thrown over by Karrigan, but Tabson's in under and he's gone 1-for-1. Info that there's a second player will set Big up. You see they're dismantling the triple stack right now. They know this intention was going to be a con play. Rarely you see fakes and a pistol. Big know what's up, but can they stop it?
Oh, they're going to start to pull players around. Tizian waiting back in CT, now joined by Crimbo. They do have this kit, right? So if it comes down to a retake, if they're able to deal with one of these players in the exec, you'd be all right to back off and play 4-on-3. Tizian peeking out. Doesn't find a thing. Faven now trying to get out the jungle side, has got Brokey trapped in this corner.
Nice.
Clean tap. And, oh my goodness, in the blink of an eye, Big are the ones pulling up and looking to run away with this pistol round. Rops, bombs planted for him back here in con, but this is going to have to be magnificent. They've got the kit, they're sticking it, and Faven with a very, very clean pistol helps Big go 1-0 up, now looking to really sweeten the deal with some conversions coming down the pipeline.
I feel like when you get Big on a run, when you get them, motivated and full of momentum, it's so hard to stop this team when everyone's popping off. Like, that's when their best tournament runs come through. And, the fact that they're even 2-0 up in the first place is impressive, considering that they had to face outsiders who have been in relatively good form recently. And, even through that into a 2-0, now a map against FaZe. Like, I don't think there's going to be much in the mental side against Big. They're only going to be pumped up by the position they're in. They know they are now 15 rounds away from going into Legends. Like, that's just insane. Nice, just swift pistol round, not really close again. FaZe get a plant, but Rob's not given even a chance to fire off a bullet from Connector. And that's going to be a pistol stolen away. It's a map, again, that we haven't seen Big face top-tier opposition on. They only played it once at Pro League. They lost to Liquid. For FaZe, they had numerous wins at EPL on this map, even in the final over Ents, taking down Vitality there as well. Similar to, how FaZe held on just the other day in that game against Vitality to get 2-0 when they were like 10-16 down, 10-14 down, and they pulled it all the way back 6 CT rounds in a row and closed the map. So, I'm not going to count FaZe out in a bad position, but even so, Big, let's see if they can convert this pistol round. It's looking good right now. FaZe haven't even fully forced. Just a scout on Karrigan, a couple of deagles. Rain makes it into the window, and no one's going to have heard this, so there's a chance to wrap, but Big, they know what they're doing. They haven't broken the vent by design. He can't flank CT. He's got to look up into that A side. Oh, that's awkward. Tizian. Maybe not calmed along that position was open.
You learn about it the hard way, right? Taking one at the back of the head. Rain with pistols is always a treat to keep an eye on. One to his name with this deagle already, and he's hitting the go button, walking out into the A site, getting a lot of room, kind of coming as a bit of a surprise to Rain just how far they'd let him go. And that was Faven all the way from Cat that just stole that frag away there.
Scout, Karrigan scout. It's alone in middle, Harry. There's two walking in B, but even if they get this entry, it won't matter. Karrigan's nowhere near. He's running under right now. Great dig shots, double wallbang headshot for FaZe. The bomb, as said, is delayed, and so they need to try and take space, keep Big from running out of the market. Tabson's doing his best to try and chokehold this site. He won't commit. He could get double swung. Does Karrigan want to plant or try and help out? Twist is covering. Karrigan's dead on the plant, and Tabson in a 1v1 with a time on his side has tucked behind the bench. There it is.
Dinked, though. It's so close. The battle of the A1Ss, and Tabson's able to win that out. 9 HP, the difference between that being a FaZe round or a Big round.
And if Tabson's waking up now, I'm terrified. He was like 2-8 the entire game. He didn't do anything. He got 1 kill in the second pistol to win a 1v1. But like individually, his calls were great, but he didn't need to pop off. He didn't need to frag out. And now he's starting a game like this. Terrifying for FaZe.
Fast into middle. Searson with his scout already landing a tag. It's not really a very powerful tag. Rob's barely even damaged by it. But still enough to soften him up to these A1Ss. Re-smoke in the window. Everybody in mid with the exception of Rops, who's leant back over towards T-ramp. Going to open up. Oh, makes it a double.
That'll
He's
do.
starting to come alive, right? Twist's already looking to outdo his performance from Dust 2, has opened up the A plate. tabseN tries to give chase, tries to get in behind them, but oh, hey. Oh, my goodness, he turns on a dime. Carrigan was meant to have that. That was meant to be his all damn day. Still, a 3-on-4. Not perfect for Big, but this Palace wrap for FaZe suddenly gives you a moment of poise, a moment to see what he's able to get away with. You can still justify giving this round a go if FaZe does enough. So Big is still floating around. They're waiting to see what this guy can do out through Palace. He's brought us back into a 3-on-3. One man at Tetris, Brokey tucked in at the firebox all alone inside of the site. The rest of his team, the bomb's not planted for them. So Brokey really can't afford to die. Out with the swing, he falls, and now it's all on Robs. But the bomb's planted safe. They can get on it. He's got to run into the site. He's got to run them down. They don't have a kit on FaZe. The flash is so awkward. FaZe will get the kill. He's got a kit as well. It's going to be so close, so down to the wire. And once more, Big are just going to lock it in with a last-second defuse.
How do they do it? The late act for FaZe as well. He may make that first contact on the retake, but he is the last guy to get involved. And get involved he shall. Sickening closer onto Carrigan and gets the stick off with just a second remaining. Sorry, Rops rather, in the clutch. Really nice round out of FaZe. And that kit dropped just close enough that he can stick the bomb. Big. I mean, these are clutch rounds right now. These are not rounds that you would expect to see FaZe losing the way they are. A 4-on-3 in the post, and they can't do it. Back to the drawing board. Back to a gun round. With a bomb plant, they are allowed that at least. Brokey's AWP delayed in this game. csgo got spotted in window. Ray's got to be very careful coming up on catwalk. He's trying to lurk and get that short play off the angle to give some room for FaZe to take this A site. He's already dead to FaZe. FaZe are running rampant out the ramp. There's 4 players here. tsgo taking contact. He's got cover on default. Brokey trying to take him down, but they double swing from the site. And this is a flawless round right now. 2 points of damage has been done by FaZe, and that is simply it. Rops. We've seen him pull out some phenomenal clutches, but is today the day for FaZe?
Well, a 1v5. They're certainly not going to make it easy for him. Even Quad leaning into the A-bomb site, right? Rops swinging on out, but how many can he actually take to the grave with him? I mean, you don't even want to dedicate to saving at this point. There's still so much time left. They've spotted him now at ramp. They know where he is, but no one on Big is getting overzealous with it. They're going to wait till he gets out or till they can swing him together. Or makes contact first. Missed shot for csgo. Here's the re-swing from the top of stairs. And so FaZe will deliver. Big up 4-0. 16-3 between tabseN and FaZe to open this map as well.
I love that for Big. You know, you often say this, Harry. They're a team that they don't give... they don't give clutches room. They love to hunt in the clutch in the best of ways, like suffocating. But right there, they tuck in the 5-on-1. They wait till Rops is committed. csgo even legged him on that peak as well and just set his teammate up for the swing. But they even show that in the 5v2 when they swing default together and double face. Carrigan Scout continues to take skulls, and Rain even follows up. A little eeky-beaky for FaZe, and they get cheeky all right. tsgo trades Rain, keeps it even. Now Big can just give up mid if they want. They don't have to die on this hill. FaZe can grab some guns perhaps if they get all the way to connector, but they've already decided to reset with Rops under Balk. He has a smoke. Does he want to give it up though, or does he want to just try and take a dry fight? That might be his only way in. Big are giving up A. They're trying to collapse on middle. They're going to get the info at least and clear this one out, but now do they know how deep FaZe have gotten?
Robs is going to start to cross in, right? He's at least made it past the default area. However, now that you've seen the bomb crossing, you know they're already in A. csgo posted up, hoping that someone gets a little too cocky, trying to take a man advantage in this post plant. He's just going to wait, very, very patient. Big have been more than fine leaving these retakes down to the wire.
This is close though.
Smoking a Palace and tabseN. This first contact matters a hell of a lot. Oh, he's going to win that first fight. It's actually csgo to nail them through the boxes. And I mean, it's just immediate, isn't it? From the moment the first contact is made, it's like a wave just washing over you. They keep 3 alive from the 3-on-3. And this big is super guile. I'll tell you that much.
5-0, ferocious and fiery FaZe. They need something now. They cannot afford to let Big continue this streak and this momentum, because already they're eyeing up that spot at the major. FaZe, we of course still expect to see them there, regardless of how this game goes. But they want to go through cheap, Harry. They want to go through free.
And look, man, I mean, FaZe, Karrigan-led teams in particular, haven't had the best success rate at majors, so you kind of want to make it as easy as you can, right?
All right, this is Karrigan. This is Karrigan, all right.
This is vintage Karrigan.
Yeah.
Fast through mid, up through con. Now at the stairs, playing around this smoke. Faven seems very aware of this possibility.
You gotta be.
But stops to consider the window boost up, and that moment of leaning away has given Karrigan ownership of this angle.
No.
Caught with nades out is Faven, but his spam damage goes back the way of Karrigan. Him and tabseN are locked in this fight. It's a weird one as they traded places in connector. Karrigan will drop into A, still trying to create space, still trying to make this round happen. He's good for another kill.
Oh,
the response though. Nade goes out, Crimbo swings with it, and in the blink of an eye, it's all left onto Brokey. He's getting T-spawn wrapped by csgo, and so what that means for the rest of the big boys, they probably don't go peek and look at them. They are tucking in so passively. They are waiting for this wrap to be in a position to activate, to get stuck in, and Brokey is left with no chance to remove players from the round, and a very, very rough time to try and 1v3 this.
Oh, yeah, the play's on him. He can't hide here forever. They'll work it out. They know he's in the site somewhere. They've got him boxed. csgo's not even activating. He's waiting for a sound cue. He's waiting for a spot, and someone's got to see him. There's the CT peek, and there's the round. Tizian looking good in this CT side right now for Big. 3 in that for him. And it felt like even though tabseN went over the top of stairs and shot the wrong player, he tried to take down Twist instead of Karrigan, who was right below him, and Karrigan covered. It didn't matter. The nade comes in from CT spawn. Crimbo faces with it, and Big just double kill in an instant, putting Brokey in another impossible clutch. Tack timeout for FaZe. Doesn't matter how much space Karrigan got there in that round, up towards stairs, and even taking not the 5-on-4 because they lost the first player top mid, but equalizing in a 4-on-4, and still Big. They know when to disengage. They know when to give it up and go back and wait on the flank. Big want to go to the major, and if you do too, scan that QR code. Tickets still available in Antwerp. Great location, of course. You've been hearing us say it for 2 weeks now, for a week now, and I'm going to keep shouting it. Perfect place, no matter where you are in Europe. csgo back to windows. Been smoked out at top mid every single time, if not the window smoke to follow, but it's not like FaZe are taking middle heavily in this round. It's just Rain defaulting. FaZe spread across the map. A B lean, but in no hurry to commit. And a flash D perhaps try and get an AWP off the angle. You know that csgo's going to be starting a lot of different rollouts at the beginning of these rounds, right? Boosting up for a B pick, taking a Palace spawn. He dropped under earlier. Big have all the options in their wheelhouse. Regrouping now on A for Big. They've seemed to stack it. They seem convinced, but FaZe, I don't know if they want this A site. They'll play deep in B apps. They can come up cat and regroup with him. That seems to be the call right now. Rain is running amok. It's Faven at the back of B, and Crimbo getting mollied out of position.
Oh, Rain, he spotted a player, right? He needs to try and secure this opener. Brokey's scout. It's only a tag. Rain has kind of slipped the net and made it up close because of this smoke that Big dropped. And so he will come hunting for Faven, dealing with him and going on to double up. There's a big old T-spawn wrap for Tizian, but he's ultimately just too far removed from the retake to even consider this. You deal with Rops on an extremely late lurk, but that still doesn't spur you on to want to give this round a go. FaZe, they find the gap, they get up the short side. They know that, you know, in a few of these rounds, they've been given an awful lot of respect in mid. They've been given a good bit of room. And so they use that to devastating effect up against this big squad.
Yeah, it feels like, you know, back on the last map, the only players who were like bailing FaZe out of positions were Rain and Brokey as well in that AWP. That's a high impact round for Rain, right? They don't fall for Faven trying to bait for Crimbo by starting bench and car side and smoking his teammate out of his escape. He runs away with a kill, and Crimbo still gets cleared. At that point, Rain has so much space in the bomb site. He knows Faven's still here. So good checks for Rain on the double entry into B, and FaZe do manage to get a T-side round on the board. It was about time. looking to build back into this map. It's not done until they say it's done. But who on earth can FaZe call at this point? Back to an AXX standard. Quick con smoke, they're going for it. FaZe don't seem to be waiting around. They smoked the molly. Karrigan won't commit. He's going to wait for his team to set up in Palace. But these are full XX smokes already down for FaZe. They've got to use them while they're up.
They're going to have to go. They're going to have to try and make this happen. Up close to Ramp, Tizian's playing anti-flash, and so that's more like it, right? These openers come through for FaZe. They find this little gap looking to exploit it. Tabson, that's a lot of damage. And will that spur you on? You've brought two of these players down so low. There's Crimbo to finish what Tabson started. And we're in this 3-on-3. A moment of poise. Twists breaks the silence out from Tetris. Rops is wrapping middle as well. These lurks haven't really found anything yet. But right now, the round's in the palm of his hands. And so there he is. Him and Twists combined for the final couple of kills. And FaZe now streaking 2 together in a row.
Nice that FaZe just keep up the steamroll there, right? As soon as Rops makes contact, they swing in off of him because, yeah, Rops doesn't even get any of those flank kills. He does a lot of damage, but FaZe just decide to help him out with a little bit of a whiff. They run down the remaining big players who are scared of their back line. And, yeah, just momentum round there for FaZe. Double entry out A. There was a chance in the mid-round. There were some nades that could have been placed to kill the low players, but without them landing, Big are finally broken. FaZe going to get a free round here, you think. Ramp rush, baby. Rops ain't blind, and he's not playing either. 4 shots through Big. FaZe will convert it. That's a lovely spray for Rops. What he was born to do. Known for his pinpoint precision, but got to whip out the 30 rounds if you have to. And so FaZe, maybe there's a route back into this T side. Maybe there's a half still to be won on their map pick.
Something kind of wild, right, is if you kind of look at the last map as well and coming into this one, it's good that FaZe are finding their footing because up until now, you know, actually, I'll include it up until this moment. In the last 24 rounds, 4 of them have... wait, is this right? Yeah. 4 of them have actually gone the way of FaZe. So... You know, only just starting to build that back, right? Because Dust 2 kind of ended in a huge streak for Big, right? There was one solitary round for FaZe in there. They hadn't tasted victory in a very long while. I think you really had them down on their luck, right? Feeling just beat up by this Big squad. And now stumbling back to their feet. And it's still a ways to go, but it's at least early days here on Mirage as they're finding solutions, as they're piecing this one together.
Oh, B, but they're faking it. FaZe are trying to draw rotates. Big are panicking right now. Everyone's running over to the bomb site. Citizen will realize he will double back. It's going to be a late mid take into this A split. Favin's missed the timing, and Citizen's not posted window either. FaZe, if they can rely on this lurk out mid, if Rain can get an opening kill, this will cause commotion, pandemonium for Big. Favin's heard the steps. Maybe he can get flashed through this smoke. No one's priming one. He's just going to walk it dry. This is dangerous for Favin. This is the make or break. He won't play off the reload. There are 2 Ts there. They're going to wait in the fade. Favin got to pick a spot right here, right now, and Twist's going to clear it. Oh, it's a mess. Twist with the entry. Tizian's got to give it up. He sees him out ramp on a jiggle as well. This boost up is going to be too late to do anything for Big. Maybe it catches Karrigan, but FaZe already own the site.
Yeah, so often, though, all they need is these little equalizing kills, and then they can slow it down, right? Normally, a 4-on-4 ain't enough. They want to try and go 4-on-3 up, so CSM's going to hold this angle. They keep waiting, and that was the golden opportunity.
Yes.
As he tries to go back out, Karrigan deals with 2 and starts to reel Big in a little bit. Tizian, and Crimbo with the killer piece, and now Crimbo's spurred on a 1v2. Hell, I mean, he was good for these kind of moments back on Dust. Going to give it a go here on Mirage, up through Con. They know about him. Bomb's planted for Ramp as well, so he's going to have a rough time in this one. Sees the AWP, sees Brokey. Oh, that's a flick and a half! And now a lot of damage to Brokey. It's the Clutch King versus the new boy, and right now, Brokey's not in a good spot. He's on the bomb, spamming away, but Crimbo wins it with the stick. Big up on a 7 as Crimbo puts another clutch on the tally, this time a 1v2. to find 7 rounds for Big.
He's so calm. You thought that swing for a twist was going to end it, right? Crimbo's just aiming at ramp. He's trying to pick Brokey, but his moves are smooth, hopping into the bomb site and knowing that he's up against an AWP, he may as well stick that bomb. Smoke, flash, look at the ground, hope for the best, and Crimbo, he delivers again for Big. This guy just don't stop. What a nice flick back to Twists. And Twist has been playing better. He's got the same amount of frags he had in all of Dust 2. 8 kills. Ramp push again. Don't feed Rops. Don't feed Rops because he's hungry. And dinner is served. Double kill to start. Big. They won a disadvantage round last time, but this is even harder. There's a lull in the action as FaZe wait. Grouping, waiting for Twist to come out under. Rain's out top mid 2. Con smoke again. And FaZe keep using this to walk up through middle. And Big never have that info. That's the one thing they've lacked on the CT side, the mid control. They've tried to play it, but FaZe have pulled them out of those positions with some of their fake utility. That smoke missed. That came in from T-Spawn. That's not landed anywhere near where it's supposed to. They can still walk through it. Crimbo has no idea. If they go up on stairs, he's dead. Right now, the intention's on CS from Crimbo. He swings, and he gets a double. 3 for Crimbo. He can't keep doing him like this. Favin in a 1v1, very low. And Twist tries to hunt the kill, but Favin's reset, running spawn. Twist has got to go up and over to get that bomb on the balcony. And Favin, if he insta-peeks, he might just win it as Twist fiddles around.
Twists for a moment considered it, right? Molly's off jungle and now just has to worry about CT. Still hasn't been swung. Oh, just a bit of a jiggle, and that's enough to give it over.
What an angle.
Twist with the clutch, and I mean, finally, FaZe have a clutch go their way, right?
Yeah.
So often, I mean, back on Dust 2, they weren't able to field them. It was constantly Big picking up those clutch moments, those clutch rounds. And so finally some good news goes back the way of FaZe.
Yeah.
Dude, considering how that starts, though, with a double up from Rops at ramp, no chance to trade those, a 5-on-3 out of the gate, and then Crimbo goes huge to pull it back into an even doable spot. Like, that round should have been FaZe's all day long. The fact that we're celebrating them winning a 1v1 shows just how good Big did at making that competitive.
Yeah, first clutch in the entire series for FaZe. And we're halfway through map 2. Big. Oh dear. Oh dear. It's only USPs, you say. It's only pistols. But they are 4B. Luckily, Karrigan on a Mac 10 might be more lethal than Karrigan with an AK in this round. He can run a gun. He can his way through the bomb site, checking the car. Oh no, he don't. Favin gets a kill. Citizen's boosted up. Does the molly spread? It doesn't look like it. He's fired off. So is his teammates.
Oh, no.
Another kill. That's 2 down. FaZe can still bail if they want. They might just wait on Rain to come up. Crimbo can't escape the Molotov and the smoke combo, and they clear Citizen in the corner. Tizian's too far. FaZe, a bit of a wait there, but they get it done. It was worth the wait. 5 rounds here, unless Tizian has something despicable, and he should just be dead on the first peak.
Yeah, he's just going to wait. Try play for damage. Try play for a gun. Kind of the best case you could hope for is catching Rops as he tries to leave the apartments here. He's coming his way. Very deep angle for Tizian. Oh, he's going to get it. There's more where that came from, though. And so the trade is immediate. 2 players surviving. I mean, FaZe don't make money on that round. They don't make bank. Got to give them credit, though, right? I mean, I know it was only USPs. It still gets close, like, but the realization to kind of hold off just for a moment as you set up, as you compose yourself a bit in that moment. If they did double down on the initial pacing that Karrigan tried to set, I think that spirals madly out of control. And so that moment for the smokes to fade, for the sight lines to get reduced, and for them to just shut out the USP players was a nice realization that that was getting weird. Searson missed the cat jump.
And he's dead. They're out under. That is really awkward, man. I mean, how is this molly not spread? Favin walking on water, walking on fire.
Covered in petroleum jelly. It doesn't hurt him. Now smoked off, he's given away to get out of window.
I can't believe Searson missed that jump. It's been a bit of a slow starter here on this one for Searson. Oh, and a missed smoke as well. We won't talk about it, Tabson. Don't worry, no one saw. It's just me and you here, hanging out, having a good time. FaZe are resetting. And again, Big, this is good, but they can't do this forever. They're crunching mid, getting that info. Now that they have it, they might even set Tabson up on a flank, but which read do they make? Tabson's looking under. Tizian's the only guy in A, and barely. on the edge of that smoke. FaZe will announce this play, you would think, with utility. At least a flash over from Brokey and T-Spawn. So Big, they've been given ample time to get set up. Faven looking to commit.
Look at
wants to
Crimbo go.
anchor.
And with Tabson having cleared out lower,
they know.
at this point they're like, okay guys, it is the A play. However, you still need your 2 players here to put on a bit of a show, to actually hold the line. Faven is blind. Oh, 1 might not be enough for him here. It's going to put a lot of the onus on Tizian with a double T-spawn wrap. If he could pluck 1 from the ranks of FaZe and then get out of there, that would have been lovely. Instead, he's traded. It's an important trade for Rops. This ramp flank is now arriving. You might be ready for 1, but are you ready for 2? Crimbo springs the trap. Brokey's dealt with him. Now they're looking for Tabson. They're trying to figure out where he could possibly be. And on this wrap, holds the trigger just for a moment. Now going to go hunting for Rops. Time is ticking off the bomb, but Tabson has read this well into Palace, pushing him down on the close angle. Rops holds the line. And so it's another one of these clutches, these 1v1s that FaZe are able to dust themselves down and pick up.
Oh, I don't know if Rops heard the silent jump, right? There's still a little bit of an audio cue, maybe, but he was very aware that Tabson was chasing him down there. Must have made a step himself to know that Tabson had that info on the ramp side. Nice double flank attempt. Real shame that Tizian doesn't kill Rops there on the plant. He shot the cover player instead. If he gets the planter dead, it delays the plant even longer there for FaZe. But a great trade on the bomb site. Keeps that round in their pocket. FaZe are waking up. FaZe are warming in, and this should be a 7. That molly ticks last second. Tabson's dead. No escaping the other side of the in-game leader. Deagle is good for Tizian. Maybe 2. Rops has been solid on ramp, and he won't let down now. FaZe pick up this A site, and with no one in position to stop, and with smokes down on short, bigger cut out of this one. They're on damage duty. FaZe are finding 7.
I mean, the liberating thing here is like, hell, you may as well give it a go. You know, you got pistols, you got armor, get 1 kill, maybe it starts to get a little bit weird. They try to deal with Carrigan, and he's good for the first. There's a man here to trade in Brokey, and so he's going to keep it under control, even getting away from Searson and leaving it to Rops. Lets that AWP continue into play for FaZe. They've tied this game up now at 7-7 and are looking to win out the first half. Yeah. Feels like we're starting to see them stumble back to their feet here, right? Not being able to win a single clutch on Dust 2, having countless rounds racking up against you, they finally found something solid.
You know, and it's even more impressive with how scary the post plants have been for FaZe, like how close these rounds have come with double entries, both times on A, and the amount of times they planted default. The one time they didn't was when Crimbo stuck it and Brokey was AWPing ramp on reverse plant. Every other time it's been default for FaZe. They've been so constricted in their A attacks, but they've still converted them, so that's all that matters. An AWP now for Searson, but a very silent half from a man who was popping off last map. Still the T side to concern ourselves with, but we're not there yet. Searson's in the wrong place. FaZe want to crunch B. It's an exec out of spawn. Twist is coming in late from under, but everyone else is charging in through the B bomb site. Crimbo is getting that first kill on the hold. Still got cat support. They haven't dropped in. Faven finds a body falling to the ground. Brokey needs a quick shot on this AWP, but they are not giving up kills. Yeah. And he's decided to wait for Rops.
They might just have to write this one off entirely, right? Rops up the short side. They're going to see what he can accomplish, what he can do. Util out on Tabson. That's a freebie. Rops is given that one, but the trade is found. Crimbo waiting. Oh. That's a lot of damage. And now it's only Brokey at 5 points of health, or 9 points of health, rather.
Jumping.
He's got a man wrapping him through lower tunnels, and he should be a dead man. The Brokester about to get turned to dust, and there it is. Big close out this first half at 8-7, successfully repelling the B play to find it.
I still think Big are going to be very happy with that game. Don't get me wrong, FaZe are playing far better than they did back on Dust 2, but Big taking a lead on not their primary map, on FaZe's pick, and when you have Searson this silent, despite the scoreline, there's only time for him to wake up and get even better, get even more potent. Also, I wonder how much Big have prepped for this map and for this matchup, right? It's an expected pick for FaZe in this series, and we know Big are a very prep-heavy team, so we'll see how that applies as we move into this T side where most of that is going to pay off. Tabson performing far better as well individually, and Tizian has not slowed down on his entry work. which is good to see. You know, I think when we knew a cut was coming for Big, when we knew Crimbo was coming in, it was probably between Keto and Tizian. Tizian obviously being the more experienced of the two, and he's really stepped it up in recent months. That molly misses, so it's a bit awkward for Big. It's going to keep that mid control for FaZe, and Rops will even aggress and clear that out. But does it matter with Crimbo down lower? Twist jumping up, and he's caught in transition. Crimbo gets the opener, and Big run wild.
Rain's tucked in at triple. Oh, they're all around him. He does go unchecked, but run down. It's a very scary position to be in. He needed success from the offset, and with it not coming through, that A bomb site is overran. Now through CT, Carrigan trying to make a way back in happen. Good for the first. And they're not going to re-swing him. They will just tuck. They spot Rops out in middle, and they've dealt with the only man that was near enough to actually retake. Rops just so far removed, going to get double swung from window and lower. They've spotted him going into con. He's got to have eyes in the back of his head. First kill found. He's got two trapped in lower, and it's clean from Rops. He doesn't have time to retake.
He thinks he killed the underplayer.
Oh, no, there's another. And Crimbo is there. The double up from lower tons, and Searson with the other three. It's a big round from the quiet German AWPer to open up this second half.
Yeah, very safe tuck for Crimbo there, but because Rops kills a player down lower, he thought that was the under guy, right? It was actually Window jumping out, something that, you know, you need to call if you're Twist there, who died to Crimbo, saying, no, it's not the under player. You're the only one who knows off the kill feed alone. But yeah, so much happening, and that round seemingly unwinnable just due to position. Doesn't matter if you get 3 kills in mid. Big have taken a pistol. FaZe force up. Always worth doing on these CT sides, especially on a map like Mirage. There's really not many exceptions to this rule on CT. Especially when scouts are about. Searson, he gets hit by one early. That's Brokey hitting the tag. Searson will meet him there, though. Oh, spotted in con. Brokey turns from flashes. Twist aggresses. Rain with a dig on the A site already, putting it to use. And Rob starts spamming away to find 2 of his own. Tizian trades one back, but Bigger in hot water. There's no doubting it. If Rain activates, Tizian needs to be aware, ready. Now he's all that stands between FaZe and a 4-spy round. They steal it and clean as well. Where did that come from?
Mate, that was like pre-nerfed eagle work from Rops over at the top of con. Just body spamming for days. Churns up the attempted con split. And I mean, considering the kind of parallels that could be drawn between FaZe's like absence in that 4-spy and Bigs in the first half, it was a lot prettier seeing how FaZe looked to play around that and what they looked to do. 4-spy back in for Big. The 4-spy wars are upon us. It's just a little bit scary with how clean that last round was for FaZe. You know, sometimes you'd be coming into this up against kind of MP9s, you know, scouts. Nah, it's 4 rifles for the most part. Carrigan, the only guy limited. Part
of FaZe never getting going in the T side were the 4-spy wars going the way of Big, right? Because not only did they have a 9-6 half, I think it was, but then they fought. FaZe got into 1v1, and then they double forced on T side. Their first buy round was at 13-6, and you know they won a couple of T rounds up against 15. But, you know, you just don't have the room, really. Big are going to pull out a cheeky strat to close. With FaZe winning the force early, they're now super favored in this CT half. Awkward B round. Twist needs to hold it together, and he only gets a spray on tabs, and Crimbo hits the headshot. Brokey shuts down Searson, and now FaZe pressure alleviated, as Crimbo has to pull out a clutch again. But this one would be despicable, undoable, and Brokey denies it. 3 from him, FaZe find 9, and this is not Dust 2 anymore.
Yeah, they've tied this up. You just got to be respectful now if you're Big. Gonna have to, you know, lightly invest here and look for guns in the next.
But this is more of what we want. And again, to reiterate what I said in the first half, like we saw that second game for FaZe against Vitality, they were 14-10 down CT side. They pulled a 6-round streak. They closed it 16-14. Like, this is a team with grit, and now they're up on the lead on the better half as well. So big throwaway round. Let's throw it away.
Oh, that is a beautiful nade. Bit of a stat pad nade for Brokey. Big looking like they just want to explode through the con smoke. More nades, nades upon nades. The artillery is raining into middle. All these pistol players affected by it with the exception of csgo. And so it should be a pretty clean round now for FaZe. They just charge him down in mid. 10 on the board. Right, this is where I think if Big did want to win it on Mirage, if they really want to pick this up, we're going to need more out of csgo and that AWP. Normally, it is so part and parcel with the Big T-side game plan to have him involved in these opening fights, to have him opening up rounds with that gun. Yeah. And it's just been a bit of a non-factor so far on Mirage. You saw what it's able to do for Big on Dust. And so we need that replicated again. Because in the Clash of the AWPers on Dust 2, csgo was the better AWPer. Brokey started to regain that mantle now in the second map of this series.
Yeah, and they were never quick taking mids on the first half, so he was never really given those chances. Nice shot for tabseN. Opening kill and almost the spray, but ropz fires through the lip of the smoke and takes a trade 4-on-4. Brokey's orb looks back to Palace, but Big have no lurkers there except faveN, who is rerouting. Going to reset T-spawn. Go back and group with his team for a B play, and it seems like Rain is already cottoned on. With Brokey having all the info on the A-cross, Rain can come back. Maybe it's another round where FaZe want to crunch middle together. Rain's looking for a gun, upgraded onto an AK. karrigan MP9, but solo B right now. That's a bit awkward. Crimbo's on this lurk. The molly will get him info. ropz has to do something forward or back. He'll choose nothing. There's the peek. Crimbo patient on the angle. karrigan going to get that spot, and now all he needs is 1-for-1. They're going to have to drop in on him. They swap sides. Beautiful clear from faveN. The orb won by csgo, and this is coming together nicely for Big.
Lovely response, man. Rain, what do you want to do here? You know, I was wondering if he was going to try grab that AWP, but it's such a big risk to send him in to go get it. Might just be better off holding on to this AK. Going to wait till later on to maybe run the gauntlet into market. If Big are good at one thing, it's restricting their opponent's money. I wonder if Tizian's going to shuffle this AWP out, and there he is. It's a classic, man. It's so grimy. When you don't see Rain going for this, a part of you's thinking he might just try to save the AWP. And Tizian won't let that happen.
Yeah, bomb shouldn't blow it to anywhere worrying. Rain, not even hanging around for the AWP, probably heard that shuffle as well anyway. So 10 rounds for Big. Everything went right there, right? From the AWP clash being won by csgo, and surprisingly, Brokey was ready on that angle, to faveN hard clearing karrigan down on the B bomb site. Even Crimbo winning that fight v ropz. He held his own for a good second or two after the molly had bloomed without even getting tagged. ropz just wanted to fight. That's a fight you really believe in ropz, but Crimbo has shown that he's up for the task. He is not in too deep water as such a young player. Oh, now we've got the picks coming through.
Yeah, I mean, this is exactly what was needed out of Big. They're starting to get csgo switched on. Once again, we're seeing kind of more of these little gimmicks, ways to try and get csgo involved in these opening fights. And now they're able to put full trust in him to win them. With ropz dead so early. The top performer right now for FaZe. Someone who's often very, very good at exploiting and finding gaps, finding timings. He's been knocked out, and so someone else is going to have to emerge as that hero player.
This is a great round to make a gamble because you have Brokey with a deep B angle all the way through apartments. So FaZe can triple stack A, and they're already taking ramp. They're grouped up heavy. Big is still waiting on this default for a kill. A push too far for Rain would be faveN's opener. But ultimately, well, it's a very patient round for Big. FaZe have made the right call here. Are they tempted into pushing further? It doesn't seem like it. They know faveN's in position. Big late mid take again. Rain's going for it. Oh, the timing! It doesn't get worse than that. And now Big, they know there's someone ramp. They have to split this site, or maybe they just avoid it entirely. Go back up Cat into the solo AWP.
Brokey's having to watch short as well because everyone else is tucked in on A. So he's got a lot of angles he thinks he's responsible for here. Drops in, deals with Tizian, is getting pushed up the short side. Brokey needs to win this, needs to lock it in. If he falls, B is wide open. He's the only defender. karrigan's going to try and join him, try to battle with him. Brokey playing around the smoke with the swing is dead. Was hoping to stop the plant. can't. Carrigan can't do it either. And now, with him churned up, it's starting to get stolen away from FaZe. Only Twist left standing. That nade could be good. Searson gets out at 1 HP. And so it's a big task now for Twists. They're tucked, they're not facing the bomb, even planted wide for short. tabseN's here as the insurance policy. Doesn't have to fight this, but still throws himself into it and also gets out at 1 HP. That's 2 99 damage peaks coming in. Big, they're getting by on slim margins, but it's getting by that matters.
Talking slim, tabseN, he's the skinniest guy in the lot. How does he get up Cat with Brokey re-peeking? He misses every timing there. Brokey gets one shot, one chance, and then tabseN gets out of dodge. Even that plant, if Brokey goes wide enough to kill faveN, the round is done. FaZe win it. But great cover for Big, and Carrigan, even just because of that backside molly, we saw him have to jump up bin. He couldn't stop the plant either. Without that molly, Carrigan, he kills the planter. Instead, it's faveN on 1, and Big get it over the line. These are crunch time rounds, and Big are winning every one. This is despicable. searson picked Twist through the mid-smoke. Crimbo's won his fight under. It's only USPs. It was always going to be easy. Big ensure that fact. 2 more players. And searson's having a field day right now. T-side open. He loves it.
Plus, like, these are great little warm-up rounds for searson, right? Where he's trying to look flashy, trying to look flicky. Yeah. They're going to help get him switched on, right? Even though they're just eco kills, it's just a little confidence boost for a guy who's having a really rough start to this one, who's such an integral part to the big puzzle. And he's now warmed up into this series at the worst possible time if you're a FaZe fan. Best timing ever if you're a Big fan.
Oh, I'm a big fan. With the CS they've been showing today, this has been miraculous. And they're 4 rounds away from a legend spot at the Antwerp Major. FaZe, again, you can't count them out. They've been here before. They've still got fight in them, but got to show it now. There it is. Blinded. Brokey's found searson. And that is a huge sigh of relief for FaZe. Tizian gets spotted and he won't fire back to hit the headshot. Crimbo doing his best Carrigan impression. He's hit the net. He slipped into the site and he will run back over the stairs. Rain's considering this.
Rain's feeling the pressure though, right? Suddenly he's having to worry about Palace, ramp, stairs, all these angles, and he's just one man at the end of the day, trying his best. It's a lot of damage, and he sets Rops up for the trade over in middle.
Ouch.
Late lurk for Tizian has pumped Twists out of the round. Now there's a moment of pause. You just saw a top mid guy. You're thinking, well, if this was an A play, he's kind of out of position here. You're worried about a B play. And so Rops has gone to go clear it. Carrigan now gets the info that it was A the whole damn time. But Rops is still miles apart on this play. Right now, there is a huge opportunity for Tizian. A chance at this 1v1, a chance at the plant. And then it's another one of these clutch rounds. And they've come to matter so much in this series. Tizian, will he win this first fight? This would set him up for something. Out with the swing. Carrigan is dead. Rops' lurk now arriving at ramp. He's here in good timing. 15 seconds, so Tizian can't slow down, and he's not aware. Crossing out into the open, left him in the prying eyes of Rops' wrap round. And you're very, very thankful that he's able to deliver on that round.
Yeah, it couldn't be a more perfect call for Rops. That's so decisive in the 2v2 when Tizian cut down Twist, rotating off of Catwalk, very dangerous rotate point, but Big having a late lurker, and it goes back to bite them as well. Rops immediately drops under just to clear B, because FaZe didn't actually know which bomb site that was. Not only is Carrigan tucked in A, a position they just cleared by killing Rain, but Rops has confirmed that Carrigan is correct, that they are coming his way. Nice round out of FaZe. Hit crunch time, they stepped up. But there needs to be more where that came from. Carrigan, good angle towards B. Twist can stop a drop. He's even got a Molotov. Searson peeks it. That is horrendous. Who checks that with an AWP? Searson does. Twist is tucked in at least. He swaps sides. He's holding a shot, and he needs a double out of it. Bomb drop. Twist can't follow up. It's still info. They know it's a commit. They know the bulk are bigger here, but are they? Two players are late lurking, trying to kill the rotators. Right now, only one man in the bomb site. There's the mid-peak. Rops was ready after Tizian showed his hand last round, and right now, Favin's running in to try and help out the aforementioned man convert this on B.
He's got to pass the windows. He's managed to slip past this AWP of Brokey. That's given him a little more room, but there's a lower flank for Rops. This is something big I've got to be cognizant of, right? He's so often manipulating these positions, coming in when you least expect it. In this wrap round, it feels like it's hit a golden timing. Tizian, 1 versus 3, and he was never ready for Rops in the apartments. FaZe with 12, they tied this game up. You know, considering how that starts, it had so much potential to get out of hands. An early 4-on-3 into the B site. I think that's one where, you know, Big are going to be kicking themselves that they spread it a little too thin for the B play.
Yeah, and part of that is probably because you're not expecting the kill to come through that quickly, right? Like, you're still running your default, and Searson's like, yeah, I'm going to look for a B pick. He gets it. If you get a B pick, you just hit it. And that's a really nice check for him. But Rops has been the difference maker this map for FaZe. The amount of times on the first half where Big as CT tried to take ramp and push in, and Rops would multi-kill. Like, even those 5-on-3s that we remember coming down to 1-on-1 clutches, the twists would close. Rops has had a really good game, and now he's just activating on flanks round after round. Big. Because in your head, you think you know the timing. You're considering, yeah, okay, well, we could be getting flanked, but, well, I've got 5. I've got 10 more seconds on this one. You don't when Rops is there. So decisive. And 12-12 now. Crunch time is here. It's happened. And FaZe are the ones standing tall. But even Stevens and another buy round with an AWP for Searson, any 5-on-4 is a possibility. Where's he going to go? Back to mid. Quick indeed. He even gets legged through the smoke by Brokey. Ouch. Not how he wanted to start. And with the window smoke, they boost up Rops, and Brokey can get out as well. It's a very good start for FaZe, although they don't know it. Bigger taking mid from under. Crimbo, he's been here a lot. Getting away with murder. FaZe, you can see they changed their B setup completely. Carrigan's almost retaking it back from a short side, because every time Big have waltzed out of apartments, no matter where Carrigan has played, it feels like they've cleared him, right? Whether that's on the boost boxes, whether it's in Edward. FaZe have always lost that first man at B. Carrigan's doing everything he can to ensure that doesn't happen. Brokey's even rotated market side to watch with the AWP.
Decent bit of space for Crimbo down lower, and FaZe leaning relatively strongly towards this B site. Carrigan shuffling back around into middle now. Going to try and take ownership of window with it being smoked off. He doesn't want to hang around watching dead angles. Big, they don't try to do much with middle. They take that first fight there, and now they up and leave. They try to deny all that info gain for FaZe, make the death of Rops something that happened in vain. Fathom with an A-ramp lurk. If he gets a kill here, that's maybe going to shuffle FaZe's setup around even more. Brokey's read this right, was just on the angle, but a missed shot. Now he needs help, and he just checks short. So Tabson comes as a real surprise on this B exec. Plant now in for Twists and Rain. It's an awkward decision. Do they want to attempt this? No. It looks like they're saving. They're ducking out of this one, and they're giving Big the respect. They've won the round. They're in the lead still, staying afloat at 13. I mean, this save, this just comes off the back of the money, and money alone, right?
Yeah,
you need to hold on to these guns.
Big, I love the call as well. They realize that B is the weakness in this game. They've been exploiting it all T-side long. And that opening kill for Tabson, the flash up into ladder, doesn't even get Rops, who's been really solid. But in the 2 times that he has died in ladder room, Big are converted B post plants, right? They kill him, they leave Tabson there for the late lurk, and they group up in B. Even if Brokey gets that info early, like you said, a mistiming. And, you know, Favin's lurking out A, he's making that first contact. back, trying to keep them there. And even though he dies with nothing, it delays FaZe's rotation just enough that in that 2-on-3, they don't want to go for it. If Favin's never out ramp, maybe they rotate quicker. Maybe they're trading kills better on B, but we'll never know. He delayed that cool round for FaZe, and they've just got to cool off now. 2 guns, 3 pistols, Big, a cheeky little play to set up tabsum, and it goes a long way. Lead is flip-flopping back and forth. Big's money is not insured either. They did not buy a plan. And so if FaZe won this round or even followed up with next gun, Big could be in trouble. So important to keep rounds clean at this point in the game, especially up against a weak investment with just saves. Both rifles on A right now. FaZe are calling the bluff, and they might be right.
Oh, that's a good tag out of Twists. Crimbo, 1 HP again. Twists, the king of 99 in them. You're hoping these rifles can do damage, right? I think you made a very good point there. FaZe, they don't even necessarily need to win this round, but getting like 3-4 kills out of these hero guns, that could be enough to set you up to break the money of Big on the back of the next rifle. So you can kind of look to ensure a future here if you're FaZe clan. However, they start to lose fights all across the board. The 2 guns have already been removed and not too much impact found other than the tag to Crimbo jumping over. tabseN knows he's got a man trapped outside of the A site. That's kind of more than fine now to start to pick up the pace on the A play. At worst, there's 2 players here. It kind of is with karrigan coming up through Con. Rops waiting to late and will swing out but can't find a thing. karrigan. Oh no!
5-7 would have won it. 5-7 would have won both those fights. Get with the times or die. Favin glocks out karrigan, and look at the low health. Oh my god, there is 12 health between 3 players, and Brokey does not know, nor will he ever. He has to save. Damage, we've all said it would win the round, or at least win the game maybe for FaZe. It would set Big up to eco later, and it doesn't matter your health if you hold your gun, and Brokey will give them that satisfaction. Big do it. They go right into the stack. But with those 2 rifles dead first, rain in window, twist push ramp, it was an easy one for Big. Never under threat.
Dude, that is so insane though, right? Like literally 3 kills could have set you up so prettily, and there are 3 players, like you say, with 12 health between them, and still 4 are kept alive for Big. So now, now they're banking up some money. Now they've still got fight in them. You can't just win 1 rifle round and suddenly you're back onto 14-14 if you FaZe. This is going to be a grind. This is going to be a Big that are investing in back-to-back rounds no matter what happens. And so FaZe have got to be lights out. If not now, maybe never. Big would be the ones looking to lock in that legend spot at the major.
Yeah, Brokey's even glass as well on this AWP. It's not going to make things any easier, is it? He had exactly 4,750 on that save. He's giving it to Rain, but he's the bottom performer in the server right now. That wasn't the case back on Dust. Maybe trying to pump him back up. And Big ballooning, filled with helium to the moon. And to that top 16 if they can close 2 more rounds.
I mean, Big know this round is essentially the game for them.
Yeah.
A win in this one sets them up for the 2-0
Nice check.
Cleanly. The pressure is on.
Rops has lost that fight every time. Finally, he's got it.
So in response to that first man seeking the riches of the opener, not going their way, what's the response going to be for Big? They start to work tabseN up through Con. He's calling across to the rest of the gang, just wait for me to make a move here. They've re-smoked top Con, might try to cross to the stairs with it. They go swinging out, and Twists has fed him in connector now. At least you got the info. You know that someone's going to be con-splitting you, but for Rain, he still needs to put on a show. Essentially alone inside of this A site, and good for the double. Now he's got support in CT from Rops, and FaZe might be onto a winner. It's grinded to an awkward halt for Big. Even though they're given the 4-on-4 on the con push, they can't get past Rain, who's had a very, very quiet map here, stands and delivers with that double, and has kept FaZe afloat.
Yeah, Brokey gave the right man the AK-47 in that round, right? Just waking up at the right time. FaZe knew what was going on fully, especially after they killed Crimbo lower mid. Very awkward for Twist, who tries to get that control back. The info mid that FaZe are desperate for. You feel like that's about to let them down, but Rain, he stands tall with that double. And now it's back to the drawing board. Now it's back to B, perhaps. That has been the way in. tabseN getting very loud, making it clear for his roster. He is the guy calling the shots. He has been at the helm of this big squad for years now. And, you know, despite everything, going from top to bottom, #1 in the world at one point with the core, tabseN over 5 years in the big clan. Looking to peak yet again. Brokey's got everything. All the trimmings now. Nades, kit, alongside the armor. FaZe have been given a lifeline, and they're going to hold on to it.
I mean, these opening fights have just shown how important they are, and so I'm assuming we're going to see more of csgo being the one to try and take him, right? The attempt to have Crimbo walk out lower, falling on deaf ears this time. And so instead, they're going to try and get this AWP posted in top middle. No one from FaZe peeking. No one wants to be that first man to fall. Twist's waiting at the short side, hoping that his patience proves to be a virtue as Crimbo slides his way up through Khan. Twists is just too shallow on that angle, and the Molly's going to force him back off of it. Crimbo's walk nets the opener. Brokey now alone, having to try and hold this side of the map while csgo plucks Twists off the catwalk. It's back and forth in middle. On the A play, Brokey's holding the line, pulls the attention away. Karrigan comes running through, and Tizia might get shot in the back here. Run down by Rain. FaZe, they went from not facing at all to all facing at once, and Big did not know where to look.
Wow, the space for Crimbo as well. So often has that opening kill between Crimbo and Rops been the deciding factor on who wins the round, right? Literally, it's been 1-to-1. Whoever wins the opener is often the closer, and right there, it goes the other way. Crimbo may get all that space up Con, get the opener, but FaZe just slam the hammer down and hunt them. FaZe, this is 15 poised and ready to go. They've got Big full eco. Nothing to do but lose here for Big. And now it's FaZe who, again, they did it against Vitality. 6 rounds in a row on CT side to shut out that game. It felt like Big had just weathered the storm enough, but now it's FaZe favored. Big fighting for overtime. Bomb plant here would be lovely, just for a little bit more. csgo doesn't have that cash, so he would love that 800. Fathom with a Deeg might just get them there. Can they plug in the numbers? Can they cross that bomb? Rops can't stop them. There's the plant, and that is everything for Big in a round like this.
Yeah, they're very restricted inside of the site, right? They're at the full mercy of these nades that are raining in from Rops at short, bringing them down low. You're going to struggle to make it much of a deeper run than just the bomb plant here.
Don't win it.
Hang on a moment.
Don't win
the
it.
Eagle striking one. tabseN's going to take out another.
No.
Missed shot for Crimbo. And luckily enough, the trade's found. Now both players are up in the apartment.
They're on
Bombs
it.
planted for them. They're sticking it. Dropped into the site. Rain
No
dead.
way.
tabseN with a double. And the Deagles are going to find 15 for Big.
Oh my goodness. I don't know what to say. That is a sitter of a round for FaZe. It felt like everything went their way. Yes, entries. Yes, post-plant setup. But FaZe, they had them locked in apartments. tabseN, he dives out the window. He does a swan dive, backstabs 2, get him off the bomb. 3 kills for the in-game leader. And it's German Deegs to prevail once again. That might be it. FaZe were never supposed to win that round. Lose that round, rather. But I guess they're never supposed to win it after all. The script is flipped, and it's Big who bought a 15, who bought a top 16.
That is insane. Like, even on the back of, you know, it's one thing if Big get in deep and they've pushed market and they've taken all this real estate away and they're making life hard for the players rotating, but that wasn't the case. They were trapped in the site. They were doubled up in apartments. They were all set to play around the bomb, and I mean, now it's like FaZe with nothing in round 30. They've got 1 gun on Rops, SMGs, Deagles for everybody else. My, oh my.
There's no words for it, Harry. There's no understanding it. But get with the times. Big Clan are back. 5 kills, 1 rifle. Rops, he has been stellar this series. This map in particular, at Molly Spreads, he's got to smoke it. No more nades left for FaZe. 1 smoke on Karrigan is literally all they have. He's got the kit as well. Had to give up everything to set up for a round winner, but he is going to be left on B. And Big, while their obsession with B has been well-founded, they're flipping it up and going back into this A-bomb site. 2 pistols here. Rain and Brokey up against the world.
Something that's so scary is because of the bad weapons, it's like a bait and switch setup over at B, but that actually leaves both players super committed to the site, and so these rotates are going to take a long while to come through. Rops is the only guy able to move in quickly. Brokey now gets the spot at ramp, but he's going to have to take a couple to the grave with, and the Deagle only good for 1.
Yes!
Rain turns around for a double, and now Rops with this hero M4, this is the time to shine, this is the time to deliver, trying to get FaZe into an overtime, but he's wiped clean. tabseN wide swings, Karrigan's gonna try push the smoke, wins the first, and it's a 1v1 to close. Twists from behind. Up through jungle, it's a tap for tabseN. He doesn't know. Oh, he's just got behind triple in time, and he's gonna convert the clutch. Big 2-0, and they're going to the major, taking down FaZe on their map pick, on a map that's been so kind to them, winning it with the Eagles in round 29, and winning the 1v1 to take this series 2-0 and head to Antwerp.
And it's tabseN to close the clutches, not just 29, but 30 as well to do it. They make the major and they go 3-0. Not the expectation for Big, but they exceed. They don't care what the script says. And for Crimbo, first major appearance as well, and he's earned it. He's not been carried on the back of Big. He has been the one putting them in his backpack with clutches aplenty in the series and yesterday as well. Commiserations for FaZe. Still 2 chances for them to go through, but for Big, what a way to steal a spot.
Yeah, I mean, you are just lost for words, man. For FaZe, I think no other words other than shell-shocked. You know, that was not the results you were expecting. This is not what you envisioned today. You got to give Big the respect. They earned this one, right? From Crimbo, MVP of the first map, everyone else then rising to the occasion. The redemption arc of csgo on Mirage, how important that ended up being in the grand scheme. And then it's a bit of a classic, right? German Deags to help get it over the line. And then tabseN, you know, like Mr. Germany, Mr. German Counter-Strike. It is the one to win the final clutch to send them to the major.
It's so